Now,
Right.
All right.
we need a new starting soon screen
I agree.
for this show.
What should it say? Should it say TBD?
We'll just put Champ's face.
Every time somebody says that, I think of TB as tuberculosis.
I think of to be determined.
I know, but like the TB part.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a joke from Community, actually.
Should we
Somebody
call this
says,
podcast tuberculosis? Oh my god, I can't even fucking say the word.
Tuberculosis.
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 That makes me think of the movie 310 to Yuma, where the remake of it, where one Christian Bale is like, "What's wrong?" Somebody asks, "What's wrong with the boy?" He's like, "He got tuberculosis," which sounds like he's got the tuberculosis, but he's saying tuberculosis is just just a weird
Tuberculosis.
little loop that happens in my head.
Yeah, I see that.
Every time somebody says DBD,
You have a lot of things going in your head this morning.
Dude, I literally can't hear TBD without thinking of Community when Chevy Chase is like, somebody says, and the reward is TBD, and Chevy Chase goes, if that's what I think it is, I had it for about a week in the 70s, and that's how
Classic.
All right, did we notify everyone on here? Okay, I got guys and guys. I'll notify everyone since nobody knows about this show yet.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there's some the important people are here already.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We don't need anybody else. We got all the Matt, Eric, Peter, Rod.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome
Oh,
everybody
hello.
to GGTBD.
We really got to change that name. It's gonna bother me.
That's it.
It's
stuck
almost
now.
it's almost as bad as the new branding of Twitter.
Oh, foreshadowing?
Let's
Look
just
at
call
that.
this X just to fuck with Elon.
Can you copyright a letter of the alphabet?
I'm sure he's tried already.
You guys like that segue there?
Yeah, failed,
Nice. That
failed
was nice.
miserably with the
What's
building itself.
right? What's up, guys? Welcome to whatever the fuck we're calling it. GGTBD. This is Guys and Guys, where we are going to talk about other topics that float across our field of vision, because there is other things in the world than Japanese music, and
No
You
way.
know.
You fucking liar.
I'm serious. There is. Just wait till I
Jeez.
tell you about the things I want to talk about.
Oh man.
All right. Should we name off topics and get people interested, or should we just start talking?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let's, I know I
yeah.
like that. Let's give them a little
All
rundown.
right.
Of
Here's what I
our
wanted to
systems.
talk about today. The Spider-Man movies as a whole. That's just a thing. That
Oh,
I'll explain why. Toyota's breakthrough in solid-state batteries, and how the writer's strike is affecting not just actors and stuff. What else you guys got?
I thought we already had solid state batteries, but it shows you what I know.
Yeah, it's a breakthrough in solid-state batteries, not the ones we already have.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a breakthrough.
Oh.
Okay. I'm intrigued then. You got me. You got me hooked. Like, what the fuck could this be about?
I can't wait to learn.
Are they more
We
solid than
already
before?
have cars. Why do we need to do anything else?
Are they more solid than before? Just ignore me.
But all right, Champ. What about you?
I just
Wayne
want to talk
got my
about
joke.
I just want to talk about batteries all day now.
So fun.
I want to, yeah. We got to talk about Cardi B. I mean, that's
Let's
B.
do
that's
the
my
Twitter.
main.
Come on, I had this perfect transition, guys, to Twitter.
Okay, yeah. Well, you want to talk about Twitter right now? Let's
Oh
talk
wait,
about
I thought you wanted to highlight the. Okay, you go ahead.
I thought we
Yeah, I was
highlighted.
just gonna give a quick rundown of what we wanted to talk about.
I think
first.
Champ did. I think Ryan just did that, didn't he? Oh, or
I
did
only
he
did
not?
that for his
Yeah.
own topics.
Oh,
What
well,
I
about
was
other
giving it
things?
to you guys
What
to
about
name
other
off
things
what-
in the world?
you're so selfish, Ryan. It's your
Going so
topics.
well right
Ryan.
now.
No, but we
Guess
got to
I
talk about
understood the
Cardi B at
premise of
some
this
point.
fucking show.
He's gonna go live on Mircord instead.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm gonna do my own show.
This is your
more
show.
importantly, we got to talk about how Tom DeLonge has been right all these years.
Has he though?
I can't wait to.
Oh yeah,
Let's
Oh,
talk
God.
about it later.
This is gonna be a great debate.
he's been right even if we don't have proof of it right now. He's still been right.
All right. Let's go.
Wait,
you guys.
wait, you
She
bring
left
anything?
me roses by the stairs. I can't do California accent.
Yeah, please don't talk like that, motherfucker. 'Cause it's the worst goddamn singer I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, I watched this new movie with that guy from Workaholics, Adam. I can't remember.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's really funny. He owns a bank. Has anyone seen that yet?
No,
Mm-mm.
no, I haven't.
I'm not going to talk about it today because we weren't prepared for that. But after all that stuff, I got some fun stories that'll leave us on a
Good.
positive note. So that's where I'll
Hell
leave
yeah.
that.
That's, we
I
knew
love
we could count on you,
positivity.
Wave.
All right, let's go. Do you guys know the Spider-Man movies?
Mm.
Yes, heard of them.
Now this thing started back in 2002. Do you guys have any favorites of the Spider-Man movies?
Oh my god.
Keep in mind, there's been Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and what's his face, the new kid,
Dude, they're all my
Tom Holland.
Sorry.
Tom Holland.
I like the Tobey Maguire ones because I grew up with them, and I also like Tom Holland a lot. I did not like Garfield until later.
All right, let's
on.
talk about why Tobey Maguire is such a piece of shit and a horrible actor.
He's good as Spider-Man. I don't care.
What?
He's good as Spider-Man. That's all I like him in. So I thought it was just fine as Spider-Man.
My wife the other day, she started watching the Spider-Man movies, and then we watched them all over the course of a couple days, like all of them from start to finish. So I never liked Tobey Maguire, like ever. I always thought he was horrible, and he just has like the range of a wooden toothpick.
Okay. Alan, you got to get the Bully Maguire meme ready for this.
Bully Maguire.
Hmm.
And that's before I knew anything about him, like how much of a dick he was.
You don't know what the Bully Maguire meme is? When he's
No.
like, he's got the Venom suit on, kinda,
Yeah,
and
he's
just
in the
dancing.
Zemo mode.
Oh yeah, that movie was
He's
not that good. I gotta admit that third movie is pretty trash. But
Wait,
first
Hip
two,
gyration.
Ryan, when you
So-
say you've watched all the Spider-Man movies, you mean all the live-action ones, right? You're not talking about the animated ones, also.
Right. We didn't watch the Into the Spider-Verse as part of
Okay.
this,
Okay.
which I do love, by the way. So anyway, just
Just
Maguire.
clarifying.
So I do want to say, as a premise, I really enjoyed the original trilogy of the Spider-Man movies, and the graphics were surprisingly, like, for how old it was, they
Pretty
actually
good.
held up pretty well.
They're
Like, you
cartoony,
don't-
but it's an art style that works.
Yeah, what
right?
they were doing with the amount of like full CGI they did of full body CGI was pretty amazing. What they're trying to do then. So yeah, as a premise, it's good. The Venom thing was just a horrible casting call, but Maguire it was just unbelievable. Like even like I didn't like him then watching it again, I'm like, this is so bad. This is so bad.
I mean, honestly, it's so
Even-
funny that somebody decided at some point, okay, we're gonna take the most badass character in Spider-Man in Venom, and we're gonna hire the
Topher
kid from that
freaking
70s
Grace.
show.
Yeah,
Like
dude, how-
the skinny
Oh,
kid from that
Topher.
70s show. Like, I mean, I like him as an actor too. I liked him in that 70s show, but of all the
Yeah.
roles for him to play,
not for Venom.
I know.
Not,
I know, man. Because even Flash Thompson was supposed to be like a big guy, like a big fucking tough guy.
was he
Who-
playing Flash in that movie, or was he Eddie Brock?
Oh, Eddie.
I think he was Eddie Brock.
He's Eddie Brock.
But
Either
yeah,
way,
Eddie
Flash
Brock
or
was,
Eddie, they're both
was
supposed to be-
also supposed
Yeah,
to be.
Flash was in the first movie.
Right. That's right.
The
So,
first
yeah,
two
it's
were
just-
good with Toby. I don't care what you guys say. They're good.
No, they're horrible.
No, they weren't. It's good storytelling.
Everybody that says it
It
was
was
good.
great.
The story is good,
I loved it.
but he
All right,
watch his face
Ryan.
when his Uncle Ben gets shot, and when he finds out MJ likes him, it's the same fucking face. Like he has the same expression. No
The
matter
ugly
what's
cry?
going on.
You're just
Ugly
focusing
cry is
just
too
the-
much on it.
Like he's trying to process an emotion so hard that it just you can see him not figure it out, and he's like, "Make your mouth move." It's just horrible. I'm sorry.
Mm.
What about the train scene, dude? That was like the most epic scene.
Yeah,
Like I
it
said,
was.
the story's awesome.
Yeah, I have to.
Oh, okay.
I kind of got to back you up on this one, man. If you watch the newest Spider-Man, right, No Way Home, when they
Yeah.
all come back and they have that scene on the roof when they're talking about how Uncle Ben died and Aunt May died, and Tom Holland is he's just completely broken down. He's been crying for the last
Yeah.
half hour of the movie, and then Andrew Garfield comes in and gives the best performance of his freaking life,
dude.
talking about what happened to Gwen, and then you got the OG. You got the OG, and he comes down and he's like, you know that scene in Tropic Thunder in the beginning when Ben Stiller is just trying to get a tear to come out of his eye, and Robert Downey Jr. is like, "Come on, man, you gotta get this done." And he's just like, "Can we cut, please? Can we cut, please?" I feel like that's exactly how I felt in that scene too. I was
Hey,
like,
well-
come on, dude, you can get that tear to drop. I know you can if you just push hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah, his acting is so bad that they didn't even bother to put in with CGI. I think Tobey Maguire's appearance in No Way Home was actually like his best
Wow.
portrayal of Peter Parker.
Hey, the first Spider-Man came in at number 5 at the most gross for opening weekend, $825 million
Sure.
for that movie.
Yeah,
All right.
That's
there's
It
no
did-
there's
it
no
did.
denying it's a juggernaut in the
But then all the
movie
new
world.
ones took over. Like number 4 was Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming. And then number 3 was Spider-Man 3, which is odd. So that's the one
The
I just
worst.
said was not
The worst.
the worst one. That's crazy. That beat Homecoming, though. Spider-Man Far From Home came in 2 with 1.13 billion. And then Spider-Man No Way Home came in 1.91 billion.
I mean, holy buckets, that was the best movie ever.
Yeah.
I love
Dude,
that movie.
this is-
People are gonna say that it's like a bunch of fan service, and it is, but it's also a good movie.
It
I'm
is.
not gonna
I would
hear that it's
imagine Spider-Man 3 came in so well, for the same reason like Ant-Man
because-
2 did, because
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
sandwiched. It was right after like the most epic movie ever.
yeah.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
think-
2 was amazing, and then Spider-Man 3 was like, is this the same production team? What the heck is going on?
Well, Spider-Man
So-
2 came in at number 6 with 789 million, which is weird because I thought the second one was pretty damn good. That was with
Well,
Doc Ock.
two-
Well,
been
yeah, it's
out.
a grower.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
out for how long now?
That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Yeah. So anyway, what surprised me about this was how much I liked Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield. I know people are divided on him, but I really like those movies. And like 2, I really wish it would have been a 3 because Amazing Spider-Man 2 is actually like not that bad. Jamie Foxx's, what I remembered about him was it was horrible, but then I watched it again, I'm like, this is actually like not bad.
Can I make a
I mean,
comment?
I liked him and Emma Stone. Like they were really good together. So I don't know.
Their
I-
chemistry.
I only watched those movies after I saw him in the latest one. I was like, he did such a good job in that movie that I was like, I gotta go watch his. And I watched
Yeah.
him and I enjoyed him. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I
too
liked it a lot.
big of a fan of Jamie Foxx's character, but it was still good. I still liked it.
Can I give you my my 1 through 9 like we did Star Wars last week? I want to tell you what the best are, right? And this
All
is
right. Tell
this
us,
is,
Chan.
this is objective, obviously. this is the objective.
Come on, you gotta have confidence. You gotta be like, no, this is the end all be all. This is it.
Best one. The best one is No Way Home. No Way Home is the best one. The second best one is Amazing Spider-Man 1. And the third best one is Spider-Man 1. And then Spider-Man 2. And then
Oh, one of each?
Homecoming. And then Far From Home. And then Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then Spider-Man 3.
I gotta agree
That's,
with you.
that's how it goes.
I agree with
I-
Champ's pick on that one.
Yeah, all the originals. See, it's a tough thing to separate the story. I can't stand McGuire or what's her face, Mary Jane.
MJ?
almost as wooden as he was.
Oh my god. And let's can we for a second talk about how awful her character actually is throughout the
Yeah,
course of those
she's
movies.
a horrible person.
She's terrible. She's constantly like cheating on people or thinking about cheating on people with best friends, for example. And like, dude, like, what is your problem? Like, why are people seeking her right now?
Get over her. Shit,
She's gonna rip your
one
heart out.
neighbor. Your one neighbor from Spider-Man 2 was way better than her.
Who was that?
Oh, like his landlord's daughter was like,
Oh,
always, like,
yeah.
doing shit for him and
Mhm.
helping him out.
I don't remember.
That's right. She like had a huge crush on him, but
Yeah,
he was like, yeah.
an idiot.
No.
So that's all. I just thought it was cool because I've seen those movies sporadically. You know, the Homecoming and No Way Home, I love those. Tom Holland he was just great. Really think he was great.
I mean, the twist in Homecoming is, to me, probably one of the best twists in the MCU in general at this point. Like when Vulture is revealed to be her dad, he opens the door and he's just standing there, and you're like,
yeah.
Oh my
This is
gosh,
intense.
yeah.
When he knows they're in the
Makes
car.
your hair stand up.
oh yeah, yeah. And then when he
Pete? Dude, Michael
Yeah.
Keaton, he delivered so freaking well on that movie.
Right?
He's awesome.
yeah,
dude.
it's like one of my favorite performances from him.
Michael Keaton and freaking what's the Green Goblin? Willem Dafoe.
Dude, that's
it's
the other
like,
thing. Willem
Holy
Dafoe.
crap.
Fuck, dude, I don't care. Call
yeah,
it
okay.
overacting, whatever. He was fantastic.
You
Okay,
can't replace him with anyone else. He is Green Goblin.
They tried to with Harry in the third one.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a big fail.
That little emo
He
kid.
has amnesia. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Ryan, as somebody that just watched both of them, what do you like Willem Dafoe better in, Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah, dude, that's crazy because I saw No Way Home decades after I watched the first one, and I kind of forgot, right? But then I think he developed it so better for No Way Home. Like
Yes.
he honed it to a fine fucking point, that character. But because I forgot about the whole dichotomy of it after watching it like years ago. I forgot that was there. Like I just remembered he was overacting and the costume was stupid.
Yeah.
Then watching it again, I'm like, oh, there's like a whole, like he's really acting in this freaking movie, man. And then in No Way Home, where where he's one, then he flips a switch and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You guys
Like,
thought that was
yeah.
overacting? I thought he played like the character perfectly. In
Oh, you
the
mean
first
in
That's
one.
what I'm saying. That's
First-
what, in my
okay.
head. That's what I remembered.
Oh,
was like-
okay. Yeah,
And then
because
it's
watching
like,
it again, I'm
original.
like, oh, he's really acting in this fucking. He's like acting more than anybody else in the film.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
made it really hit home for me, that like when he snaps, Green Goblin's in control, and
Yeah.
what's his name? Harry?
Oh, he was fucking horrible.
No,
He
what
played
I'm
him.
saying is like he might be a good guy when he's at the
Hmm.
place or whatever, and Green Goblin's using him to get what he wants, like
Right.
gaining Peter and May's trust. But then Green Goblin comes out and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any control over this.
I'll never forget because I saw Boondock Saints, so like before the Spider-Man, so I was like freaking out when I saw him acting in that first Green Goblin,
I love Boondock Saints too.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
and he's great in that
But-
movie also.
Yeah. But I do feel like in this one, I feel like the reason it comes across, so like the original Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie, is definitely meant to be almost like a cartoon, right? It's like everything is over the top. Everything is like,
Sure.
even just
Yeah.
the colors, the visuals, everything feels like
Sure.
really loud.
Well, at that
And
time
then
they
this
were
one,
at that time they were copying DC. Remember the Batmans, because Batman's was doing it off of the comic book also, so they're trying to keep it
Yeah,
like
look-
kind of like that.
look at how things have reversed around at this
2000?
point, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because the Batman
What do you
movies
mean
from the
they did off the
90s were
comic?
kind of cartoony, right?
Yep. It was done by what's his name, the one who did Nightmare Before Christmas and all that.
Schumacher.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Yeah, he did the
No,
original Batmans, which I thought were good.
That
Those
was
first two.
89. The later ones were Joel Schumacher with all the interruption between Warner Brothers and fucking McDonald's toys. The Tim
Was that
Burton
where
ones were-
Batman had nipples?
Yeah.
You mean like the one
I
with
think-
Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. We killed the dinosaurs, the Ice Age.
But what I really like about Goblin in the new movie is that like you took this super cartoony character from a super cartoony world, and he was like, and it's told in the story, like he's transported to our world. Basically, our world is kind of
Yeah.
like the MCU world, except without superheroes, obviously. But like he kind of, as much as he stays the same, he still changes it so that it feels more grounded in reality. Like the way that he's
Yeah.
talking, like the way that
agree.
he's fighting and stuff like that, it doesn't feel cheesy. It feels like it fits in the universe now.
It was devastating. Like that's one of the. I didn't expect that character to have one of the best freaking fight scenes in a Spider-Man movie. It was incredible.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, when Peter starts punching him and he just smiles and then starts laughing hysterically.
Oh my god, yeah.
And he stops. Peter, stop.
Yeah, oh
Pulls
yeah,
that-
that's
oh
great
my
too.
gosh, yeah, it was really good, really good.
Yeah, I love that. I love the whole Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man is definitely my favorite superhero. Out of any of them, Marvel and DC. And I think that I was never the biggest fan of the original Spider-Man trilogy. Liked it, but I didn't love it. But I was kind of disappointed by it because I was like a huge fan of the animated series. Like I've watched that several times.
Yeah,
Same.
And they did cool stuff in the animated series back in the 90s, like with multiverse. Like that, they actually, season 5 of Spider-Man animated series is all about the multiverse. Like exactly what they're doing with Into the Spider-Verse stuff now was what they did in the animated series.
Nice.
And what's funny, they never play those episodes on TV. Like if you watch the syndicated episodes that they'll play now, they don't ever play the season 5. For I don't know why, they just skip over it completely. So you have to like actually go out of your way to find those.
Even on Netflix, they don't have season 5 for some reason. Like because they put all those old ones. Yeah, they put the X-Men ones too on there, where because they did a lot of crossover with those '90s cartoons.
Yeah.
They put most of them on there, but I'm pretty sure they don't have season 5 Spider-Man on there.
I remember when I watched it, I had to find it off Pirate Bay. I had to download it legally off of Pirate Bay.
Okay, this is why I like the Tobey Maguire movies, because it was my first introduction to Spider-Man as a 10-year-old when it came out, you know? So, like, I can't not appreciate them in that way because I saw the first movie and got absolutely obsessed with Spider-Man, you know? So,
I can understand that.
I
get it,
that,
like totally.
And I get shit. Wave says that it's understandable.
I agree with everybody, though. I think that those movies are fun. They're fun. They're just
I understand why people like them. I'm just saying, objectively, the acting is fucking horrible.
But I have a question about that, right? So because they're being taken like almost right off the pages of a comic book, they're trying to recreate the comic. Do you think that like there was an intentional like direction choice to be over the top, to be cartoony, you know, like maybe if they wanted that to be the case?
If that's the case, then why? I don't know, dude, because I mean, obviously every director is trying to get exactly what they want, right?
Mm-hmm. And Sam Raimi's kind of known for
how do you watch
that?
Like that? You know, maybe it was Tobey Maguire. We were watching.
You would hope they're just trying to entertain the viewers.
Amanda said, "Why was Tobey Maguire even famous?" I'm like, I don't know, because he sucks in everything. Like,
because he was MTV. He was MTV Best Kiss winner in 2003.
Yeah, but why was it? Was he like a huge star, and because he was attached to it, they just had to take whatever take they could get? Because there's no way that he said action and was like, "Fucking nailed it, Toby. Let's go to the next scene."
Same reason Topher Grace was Venom. Just the innate popularity of his name at the time.
Was Tobey Maguire famous before Spider-Man?
That's what I don't understand.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that made him famous.
He kind of looked like the comic book Peter Parker. That's why I thought they chose him. He does have he did fit the look.
Was that the movie that made him?
I'm pretty sure it was.
And then he did Seabiscuit. And then he did nothing.
Oh,
Seabiscuit.
Yeah, that's
wait. Didn't he do that one? Didn't he? Wasn't he part of the Brokeback Mountain thing? No, that's somebody else.
No.
Yeah, I'm mixing that up.
No, but to bring it back to Tropic Thunder, he did have a preview in that with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, where they were monks living at a monastery that were gay and didn't want anybody to know. And the movie was called Satan's Alley.
What?
Wow. Tropic Thunder is a movie that could not possibly be made today.
No.
So yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Okay. The thing I remember most from was Pleasantville. And Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He had like a bit part where he played a balding, long-haired hitchhiker in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which he had the same facial expressions through the whole thing he had in Spider-Man.
What was he, like 18 when he did that?
Fuck, I don't know.
Balding hitchhiker?
I do think he's the worst actor out of the three. Like, I don't even think that's really disputable, to be honest.
So
like,
before the Spider-Mans, he did commercials actually, and he did This Boy's Life was like his earlier movie, and then he did The Wizard in 1989. That's all he really did up until that Spider-Man movie.
Tell you what though, like when I was at the No Way Home, the first time I saw it, like when he came through the sling ring, that was the biggest cheer of any reveal in the movie because he's the OG,
He's the OG. Yeah, and that's the thing. No matter what we say right now about Tobey Maguire or whatever, it's all built off of that, right? We do not have any of the movies that we have today, like the Spider-Man movies, if they didn't happen in the first place.
I'll make my own point here. Adam West, objectively, is not a very good actor.
No,
but you can't have the progress we've had with Batman without him. He was one of the reasons he stayed popular. Was he great that I liked that show because his acting was good? Fuck no, dude. It was ridiculous. It was cheesy, but it was still fun to watch.
Just keeping Batman alive.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that the movies were bad. I actually thought the movies were pretty good. It's just you have to get through the parts where Tobey Maguire shows his face and says words.
I just don't think the acting was that bad, though. I don't think it was that bad.
How long has it been since you watched it?
Let's have a watch party.
It's been a while. It has been a while. I just don't think it was that. The third one, the acting was very noticeably bad, where it took me out of the story. That's when, I'm like, all right, that's pretty bad. So,
but also the cheesy dialogue.
I didn't feel like it was cheesy in the first and second movie, is what I mean. I guess I don't know.
I think they're all cheesy, but I think they're intentionally cheesy, so I give a little bit of leniency. I gotta
go watch them again. I'm just gonna go watch them again.
It's just the scenes where it's like, okay, you got to be emotional right now, right? Like the Uncle Ben death scene, right? Like when you watch the Gwen scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, or you watch the Aunt May scene with Tom Holland in No Way Home. And then you go watch Uncle Ben scene from Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. Like we're on different levels here. Right? So I do.
That's not just a product of time difference. There's some movies from the 2000s that had some pretty good acting in it.
Oh yeah,
it's not like nobody was acting that good then.
But I do question if the directing had a big part in that. Like he didn't want it to ever be too overly emotional because they were trying to keep it light for the most part.
And at the time it was for kids, comic books.
I don't know, man. I think he just couldn't get a better take, so he's like,
"Hey, Toby's won some awards here, all right? He won some Best Actor awards from Saturn Awards in 2023 for Spider-Man 2."
Yeah, we all know how much that means.
All right, and
2023 for Spider-Man 2.
And then he won Best Younger Actor / Actress for Pleasantville. I don't know what that is.
Actually, you know what? I think that makes sense for Spider-Man 2 with the big train scene and stuff. I know he's got a weird looking face. I thought he acted that really well.
He did win the Best Kiss award, like Champ was saying.
I told you, MTV Best Kiss.
Oh, because it was upside down. That's about only the reason why.
And in the rain.
Hey, hold on. Before that, he won in Brothers in 2011 Best Actor in the International Competition. Oh, this is after Spider-Man. I don't know what the Cine Euphoria Awards are, but...
Okay, I have a question for you guys. How many people care about awards that movie stars get?
I don't care at all.
Okay.
Oh, hey, how about this? The Teen Choice Awards, Lip Lock?
Yeah,
what the fuck is the Wonder Boys? All right, I found one that's before Spider-Man. Wonder Boys for Best Supporting Performance.
Never heard of it.
His best acting in the Spider-Man movies was in Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. And I just don't he did. I liked his scenes with Doc Ock. I thought that they actually grew a decent emotional connection between the two. So by the end, when Doc Ock had turned fully, I bought into it that, Peter was almost brokenhearted about it. I also want to say, do you guys remember in Spider-Man 2, the scene where Doc Ock's, his tentacles actually go crazy for the first time? And he just murders all those people in the lab room. Yeah. That scene is brutal. And I went back and I watched all these movies this year, right? So I've seen all these movies this year, except for I didn't go back and watch Amazing Spider-Man 2 again. I just couldn't do it. But that scene right there is probably still the most brutal scene out of all the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, we were watching and man is like, oh my God, it's like a horror movie. I said, it's Sam Raimi.
It's crazy, dude. And these are just there's just this sweet assistant, this young girl that's the assistant, and she just gets dragged away, and then her blood gets sprayed all over the side, and you're
brutal.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Teresa really says in the comments, Wonder Boys was a pretty good movie. All right,
was it? I'm not even watching people.
Is that Toby?
People talking about what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's Toby. That's the Tobster
That's
over there.
Toby. Yep.
All right.
What are we
Well,
talking about
well,
next?
Spider-Man's cool.
Yeah. I will say, like,
Teresa. Tobey Maguire is the male Kristen Stewart. I like Kristen Stewart though.
I actually feel
Why?
I feel that that's pretty accurate, honestly.
It's not wrong, but I'd rather see her face.
Well, that's because she's pretty. That's because she's pretty. But yeah, have you guys ever seen the Twilight movies?
No.
yeah,
Yes.
Wow.
Rosie forced me to.
Okay. I would say that, like, I saw the first one, I think. I like watched on TV while it was on, and there was commercials and stuff like that. And I had nothing to do on a random Sunday, so I watched it. And I got to tell you, man, like, I waited probably a good solid 20 to 25 minutes for any dialogue to show up. It was just Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, like, flying around the woods, like going from destination to destination, and then just like looking at each other in the new destination, and then they like go to the next destination and look at each other more. And I was like, are they ever say anything? Like, what is going on here?
It's
Best thing
teen
about
romance.
The best thing about the whole series is watching interviews with Robert Pattinson while the movies are out and he's supposed to be promoting it, and just seeing him like just fucking
Dying
not.
inside.
He just doesn't,
dying
dude.
inside.
He gave up trying to hide it. He's just like, yeah, dude. Like there's some funny interviews with him where they're like, what do you think about this? He's just like, he just can't. He can't even fake it. It's hilarious.
He like wants to lie, but he can't bring himself to. Yeah,
Right.
so you can just see right through it. He's just like, it's
Yeah.
good.
There's some
Go
pretty
see it.
funny moments.
Thank
Right
goodness he
on.
could redeem himself with the Batman.
Did he? I didn't see that one.
He did. That's a great freaking movie, dude. Fantastic. I love it.
That's
All right.
All
Should we
right,
just make a superhero movie segment on this?
there's going to be one every week. I guess that's my thing. Is
Yeah,
I'm
I
always
think we should
thinking
just
about 'em.
assume.
Yay.
Yeah. I think about superheroes a lot, so bring it to the table whenever you want to, buddy.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
watched Guardians 3 now 6 times.
Really,
6
And,
times.
and I bought it last week on Amazon.
really. I watched it once and I fell asleep towards the last half of it.
Oh my god, bro! I thought it was amazing. I thought it was like
not,
one of the best.
It wasn't bad. I was actually. I mean, I was tired, but I would like to watch it again. But I don't
You
know.
should.
I
watch it with
watched
me.
the first one, second one. I watched the first two multiple times. They're really, really good.
Yeah, I love them all, honestly.
Right on.
Yeah.
Also, the
Bro.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies are too long. All right. That's all I had to say.
It's fair.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 could have ended very well, like 3 times. Like, okay, that was
Yeah,
a great stopping point. Then they just keep going. It's like,
There
dude,
were too many story threads that never got resolved and never
Yeah.
had any impact on the movie, like with his parents and stuff. And I was like, I could have definitely cut this out.
Well, they thought there was going to be a third one, right? Like they were almost
Yeah.
positive there was going to be a third one, and now there probably is going to be a third one because everybody was
That'd
like obsessed with Andrew Garfield's comeback in No Way Home.
do you
I
remember
think
why
they
there
actually
wasn't?
said
Why there wasn't?
there wasn't
one?
a third one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the other two didn't do well enough that they
Right.
They were
Well,
just-
part of that was Andrew Garfield was so disappointed with how the second one came out and the storyline threads Wave's talking about, where he was like talking shit about like there's too many villains. He like was saying how he felt about the movie, and they're like,
Aw,
you're not gonna be Spider-Man anymore. Just fucking
ouch.
dude.
Poor
So
dude.
He was super, because that was like his dream role, dude. He loves Spider-Man.
Mm.
Like I remember watching an interview of him talking about it, and I was like, oh man, that sucks.
But he wasn't nerdy enough to be Peter Parker, so
Yep, that's
Yeah,
true.
he was like-
He's
It's pretty cool.
he's a beautiful man. You can't just like you can't be Peter Parker and be like look like a model. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't. Yeah, but he was a great Spider-Man. Like as soon as he
Good.
put the mask on, I loved him. I
Yeah.
said, I thought Amazing Spider-Man 1 still, after all the MCU movies and everything, is still a top 3 Spider-Man movie. I
okay.
think that one is great. The one
Right
with
on.
Lizard.
So Andrew's sexy as Spider-Man.
Andrew is sexiest Spider-Man. Yes, 100%. Tom, you can't even call Tom Holland Spider-Man sexy because he's underage. He's minor.
He's like 30.
Yeah.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He was like freaking.
Tom.
He's in his 20s.
He's 16 in the first movie.
Not in
Is he,
real.
though?
He's 27 years old right now.
I meant the character.
Oh, okay.
I meant the character was 16 in the first movie, but that still means like when did Homecoming come out? Like 6 years ago. So I guess he was probably like 21 when that one came out.
So there's an article right here. Tobey Maguire and director Sam Raimi may reunite for a fourth Spider-Man movie, according to one of the franchise's villain actors. Tobey Maguire's surprise return as Peter Parker in MCU Spider-Man No Way Home led many to wonder if a fourth movie was going to be featured. So there is some rumors about it. So
Sony's in a great spot right now with this because part of them retaining the rights to Spider-Man and not being able to give it, Disney not being able to get it from them, is them having to make a new Spider-Man movie. I think it's like every 3 or 4 years. So if they have 3 different actors to cycle through and make Spider-Man movies,
I don't see it happening with Toby. They had to fight so hard just to get him to reappear because he's being such a diva.
Sony's Sony's official Twitter account responded to a fan asking about Spider-Man 4 by saying that anything is possible. So who knows?
Oh yeah.
Anything is possible.
I mean,
I guess.
Those are very vague statements.
Unless Disney kills the MCU by then.
I mean, I'd honestly rather, like, we've come to a point where they're all together, right? Like, freaking, we had Eddie Brock. What's his name? The new Venom. What's the guy's name? Dude.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah. We had all 4 of them in No Way Home. Like, to me, it's like gonna be really hard to separate them all out now and be like, okay, now we have 4 individual franchises covering the same storylines. While you know that you can have them all in the same place because we've already done it before, right?
They could. It'd be nice if they just make a movie, but it comes down to all these copyright bullshit that you have to deal with, crossing this and that, and then everybody's gonna want all their money. And can we afford to do this? And it just gets fucking stupid. I think they want so much money, man.
Hey, this is a perfect segue to the writer's strike.
So
maybe
enough. Come on.
So nobody gets paid enough.
The Sandman actor Thomas expressed interest in reprise his role as the Spider-Man villain in potential Spider-Man 4, led by Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that?
That's where the rumor came from.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that? That actor didn't want to appear in No Way Home, which is why they did him in CGI the entire time until he came out. Like, the very end when they fix him and the sand comes off and he's himself again, that's actually shot directly from Spider-Man 3 that they just reused and put in that scene.
Wow.
I wonder why he didn't want to. He was great, man. Thomas Hayden Church is always good.
Well, he's playing it safe, I guess.
He might have just been busy or something like that, I guess.
Yeah,
but it is weird that like he wouldn't want to appear in this one, and then
maybe he saw the other Phase 4 movies.
Haters. You're all haters. Phase 4 has been pretty good.
Sorry for caring about things making sense.
Which ones don't make sense? I want to know.
I haven't watched hardly any of the Phase 4 stuff.
Well, you saw Guardians 3, right? You saw No Way Home.
I saw that. I didn't watch the Ant-Man Quantumania.
It was bad. That movie was really bad.
But the new Loki trailer dropped yesterday, I think, as a way to kind of mitigate the fact that everybody's very angry about the most recent Secret Invasion and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I loved the first season of Loki, by the way, and I can't wait for the second season. The only interesting part about Ant-Man was I don't want to give direct spoilers, but the post-credit scene, the coolest part.
Right on. Well, we beat this topic to death here. You want to move on?
Yeah.
Well, let's stay on the movie area and talk about that SAG-AFTRA stuff.
Oh, Matt, I'm with you there. Wait, no, actually, I don't think. I think they're both on the same level. All right.
So, why is this a big deal? What is a strike about? And is it just? I don't think it's just actors want more money. This has to do with the writers and AI. And people using AI to bypass writers. And the article I found was about focused on dry cleaners, like in Hollywood. And they're like,
really?
Like, people aren't going to act. They're not getting costumes washed. They're not getting that. They lost like a big percentage of their business because of this. There's no alterations being made, shit like that. So it's not just, it's affecting a lot more people than, what you may expect, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I even see the reaction channel Blindwave.
No.
on YouTube. They're a pretty big one. Yeah, I think almost like 1 million followers or something like that. But they just do reactions to movies, and they have reached out to SAG-AFTRA. Actually, a few of the reaction channels have, and they've specifically been like, if you ever want to be a part of our organization, you cannot be posting reactions to movies or TV shows also during this period of time. No promotion whatsoever.
Really?
If you ever want to be a part of this. Yeah, and there's like an actual email that somebody showed that from them that was like, you cannot do this if you want to be involved in our organization.
Yeah, but how are they going to be involved? They're not. Are they involved now?
It's like if you have any future plans to be in acting and want to join the union.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and a lot of these reaction channels, they are like people that, they're kind of involved in the music and the movie industry one way or another. Maybe they would like to directing or want to, or that's like they're all like, Blind Wave, for example, they're just not posting anything, right? Like they're only doing animated things right now. So
what the heck?
Pretty crazy.
Why would anyone want to be a part of that union? That's my question.
Well, I mean, when unions actually do their job, they benefit the people that are part of them. But for instance, the place I worked at a foundry that was union, but there was no reps, there was no fucking stewards, and there was no reason to be in the union there. So it was pointless. They only were part of the union because of, a political stance and financial benefit of being in a union. Because people wouldn't deal with them if they weren't union.
Do you guys think there's... I'm sorry, go ahead.
There was no benefit from being part of the union except paying union dues. It went nowhere. So there was like 5 people left that were in the union, and the rest of us are like, fuck that.
Do you guys think there's any chance this strike will actually turn out the way they want it to?
I think we'll see something of a compromise. It's too big, I think, there's too many people involved for it to go nowhere, in my opinion.
What about all, like, okay, acting is a really, really competitive industry. There's millions of people out there that will do the job for way less, that are probably just as talented, but no one knows who they are, whether it's writing or acting, and they'll do the job for a lot less, because when it comes down to it, the purpose of making movies is sadly to make money over entertaining people or over making people happy. So they're just gonna find new people to do these jobs instead of paying these actors $3 million. Like, the SAG awards, or the SAG actual union, requires like any employee to be paid at least $700 a day, which is it's not enough for them apparently. And it's like, how can real people get behind you who make maybe $100 to $200 a day?
Make that a week.
Yeah, it's like, you're crying to people who have no sympathy for you.
Yeah.
I think I think, what we have? We have a common enemy. And that common enemy is the CEO that makes $483 million per year.
Yeah, 3,000% more than their employees.
We can all look at that and say, that guy's making too much. Some of that should trickle down to the people that he's should be paying in order to make the things that are making him profitable. I don't think anybody's really going to be angry if that happens, right? And I totally get your point about that, though.
I want to mention something just from that perspective, that CEO perspective. I've always said this when I was running businesses with Carl's Jr. I always fought to pay the employees more because I'll make your life easier, and then essentially the top person's still going to make more money anyways, because if the service and everything is better from the bottom up, it's just going to flow more money up anyways. So that's why I always said, pay those people what they deserve, or pay them where they feel it's fair. To a certain extent, you can't go too crazy, because that can get out of hand too, where they'll always expect something. But if you're treating everyone good, it's always going to flow up, but people just get so greedy with the amount of money they have. They get greedy to that number. It's like that showmanship. It's not even about the money at a certain extent. It's just about showing how much you have. But I've always been a firm believer, treat everyone good below you that you're running or that you're in control of, because your life will be essentially easier anyways. It just makes sense in my head to just treat them good.
Millionaires don't become millionaires by being generous.
Yeah,
millionaires
that's true.
Being greedy as fuck.
But I did see like I saw a couple like one of the Stranger Kids. What's it called?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things kids. One of them came out and was like, I only made like $45,000 per year on that show, while like the showrunner was making like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And when you see stuff like that, it's like, okay, $40,000, low income, mid tier, but you can live on it. But I mean, if the show is bringing in the kind of money that the show is bringing in, is it still fair to be paid that much money? Right?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's more motivating. Maybe it's more motivating to become a showrunner, though. Maybe that'll push them to become a showrunner. Who knows?
But you can only have so many of those, right? Like you got a limit on that.
Acting is not is rarely a steady job. So, whatever pay they get, we're not talking about Robert Downey Jr. isn't walking the picket line because he's not getting paid enough. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's all the people that we don't fucking know about. The people that are behind the scenes people who are getting screwed
Extras.
By whatever circumstances we don't even understand with, what they're talking about. True. And I can say for myself, I sure as hell don't know what people are involved in and what they're going through dealing with whatever they're dealing with. I mean, I had to get something led to this, and to where movie stars obviously get paid too much fucking money. Yeah. But the grips and the people that are just shaking shit back and forth or moving clothes or whatever, they're all part of this too.
That's the sad thing is we don't know why, like whose perspective these articles are written from. We don't know if companies paid these articles to like put it in a certain light. Like Ryan just said, we absolutely don't know. Like there's probably more to it. We'd probably have to actually talk to some of these people. Hey, what's the actual issue? And see if it lines up with whatever is being spewed to us on the internet.
I do feel like
I don't fucking know.
Like it's harder to talk about with the actors because the actors just in general make so much more money than us. But like let's shift it over to the writers then. The writers don't make nearly as much as the actors do. They're not on screen. And the way that script writing works in Hollywood is if you could either write your own script and then you could sell it, or if you're writing a script for the movie, they own the intellectual property and it's nothing for you, right? So you get whatever they want to pay you in that instance. Now, if studios are going to start using, let's say, freaking AI to write scripts instead, those movies are eventually going to get really bad. We're not going to like that. I think writers are important to be paid to make them happy, or else we're going to watch an extreme downfall of the entertainment division in our world.
Yeah, we're back to the original problem. The people that buy the script for $30,000 or $100,000 are planning on making millions off of that. That's their intent. Okay, give me that script. Then they rewrite it, and then they start at production, and somebody else rewrites it, and it becomes something that's completely different. And you got this one guy who had the idea, who's just, the money's gone, so he paid for his house for a fucking year.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Dolly Parton. You guys know anything about Dolly Parton?
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah. Dollywood. So she is freaking awesome. So apparently back in, I don't know, whenever she wrote I Will Always Love You, which I hope at this point everybody knows that that's her original song, not Whitney Houston's. Yeah. But when she wrote that song, Elvis tried to get it from her. Elvis wanted to do a cover of it before Whitney Houston ever did. But the management team told Dolly Parton that if he was going to do it, he gets 50% of all revenue from that song going into the future. Oof. And she said she cried all night and said, "I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Wow,
I can't do this.
Nice
because she thought about it like a scriptwriter. I cannot just sell the intellectual property to my song to this person.
Good. Yeah.
And
knows her worth.
And then after Whitney Houston made it, she said she made enough money off of the revenue of Whitney Houston's version that she bought Dollywood with it.
That's freaking crazy.
I just want to say real quick, shout out to Michael M for the super chat, man, for the $9.99. I appreciate it so much. And thank you, Teresa, for becoming a member. And we do have a book club kind of thing segment that we did last week. We might do it again this week, but it was pretty interesting. Sure. So stay tuned.
On that note, Champ, Steve Vai, I just caught a thing with him. And he was playing, Steve Vai's guitar player, virtuoso guitar player, played with David Lee Roth and Whitesnake, and they went on to do his own solo thing. And when he did his first solo album, it's called Flexible. He was playing, this is before David Lee Roth and all that, but he was playing with Frank Zappa, and he wanted to do his own thing, and he made all this crazy music, and he's shopping around, and he took it to places, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you an advance. You owe us the money out of your profit from your album. Like he goes, no, he goes, I never took that because there's no way somebody should be making more than me. I understand when you write all the music and
Right.
record all the music, he's like, why am I going to let somebody else take my rights and make money off of me? Then I got to go write something else. And he's
Yes.
stuck by it.
And selling that's so scary to me because like being a creator in our world in general usually means that you have to sell your intellectual property to somebody
Yeah.
that already is successful in the industry.
Yeah.
It's really hard to come from the bottom and keep the rights to everything. So
Right.
in order to say no, like he did, or like Dolly Parton did to Elvis, you
That's
got to
guts.
have some serious balls. Yeah.
Even on platforms, this is happening. So Twitch is a very big culprit. I think I've told you guys about this, and I've been hoping that they just kick me off the platform eventually. Because with Twitch, if you don't read the terms of service, it does say on there that they own the intellectual property of what you're streaming. So if you have a logo on there, that is theirs. They can actually do it with whatever they want on it. If you're not a partner with Twitch and you do not have that in your contract, when you become an affiliate, you automatically sign over your logos and everything that you're putting up over there. So even platforms like YouTube and stuff, you got to be careful. YouTube does not do that, fortunately. But like, for example, Rumble, the thing that everybody's going to now, be careful because there's choices that you have to choose before you upload a video on there where it does say they have the right to use your video and share it. And that's also considered an intellectual property. So that's a big issue with Twitch. I don't know if they changed it yet, but it is in the actual terms of service as of right now. So
So I just have a couple more thoughts back to the original topic here. Like, this is really strange timing for the strike to happen because we're in a time where most of these Hollywood quote unquote blockbusters are losing way more money than they're making. You know,
yes,
Yeah.
the production companies aren't making the money, so they can't pay the extra. And I do agree, like, I'm sure the most important part of the movie is the writing, but then there's the corporate meddling that always has to happen. And for some reason, Disney thinks every movie needs like 25 writers that have different visions. And then, you know,
Unless you're Guardians of the Galaxy and you just use James Gunn.
well,
but everything
yeah,
else.
but he didn't write
Yeah.
that, you know, that's
He
so
did.
he's just a director.
No, he's a writer and director.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice. And that's probably why it's resonating with people, is because, you know,
There's-
it's one singular vision.
There's a
not being
cohesion
meddled
between
with.
between the aspects of it instead of somebody trying to make their own version of what the writer wanted.
Yeah, which is why actually in Guardians 3 there's a scene where Chris Pratt's character Star-Lord is in an elevator explaining the first two movies to some random new character in the elevator, like this is what's happened for the last 8 years. And at one point he's just like, and then like, who knows? I mean, I'm not some Infinity Stone scientist, but like Gamora got thrown off a magic cliff, and died and didn't come back. And everybody else was able to come back. I don't know why that didn't work. And like,
Sad.
you can tell that that's James Gunn writing about like the studio changing the script in like Avengers Infinity War and
That's
Endgame,
hilarious.
and him being like, okay,
I
now I
didn't
gotta deal with this
realize
in
that,
Guardians
Champ. Champ, I didn't even
roasting.
Champ, that's so awesome you brought it up. I didn't even realize that. That's badass, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's just like,
Went
he's just,
over my
and
head.
it's so funny because it seems so passive aggressive the way that Star-Lord is delivering the lines too. It seems like James Gunn is just saying them himself. Like,
That's hilarious.
They made this so hard.
Pratt probably agreed with it. That's why he was like all
Oh,
in
yeah.
on it. He probably was like all for that.
I know if you try to watch Guardians of the Galaxy as a trilogy, it doesn't make any freaking sense, because at the end of number 2, him and Gamora are in love, everything's great, and then you go to 3 and it's just like total,
Yeah,
everything's
you
ruined.
You have to know what happened in Avengers, or else you're just like,
Yeah.
what? So what? Until you get to that scene and he explains it all, and you're like, okay, thanks for the juxtaposition.
He had to put that in the movie, otherwise the trilogy wouldn't work, you know.
Sometimes you got to do shit like that, though. Like I remember the first episode after Buffy had started the spin-off Angel the series.
Oh yeah, I remember
first
that.
episode. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
they just do a whole spiel
Yeah.
for the first 5 minutes of this is everything that happened in Buffy.
See-
And this is why Angel start, like, they have a new character come in and explain Angel's past to Angel just for the audience. And you're like, all right.
That's why I like watching certain YouTube videos about movies, because guys, I don't know if you're the same, but when I watch movies, all that shit goes over my head, man. All the like the hidden jokes, I don't fucking get any of it. I get sucked so far into the movie because I want to. I just want to forget about
you want
everything.
to get immersed.
Yeah. That's why I was saying that third Spider-Man was so bad it took me out of it. That's pretty horrible because it's really easy to get me like invested. I can get invested pretty easily, but so yeah, that's crazy. I love when people recognize those things.
We got to clarify something for Blaze and Soul. This is not a Japanese music broadcast right now. We're just that's Sunday.
That's Sunday, yeah.
Our Tuesday show is about whatever the hell we feel like talking about.
This is just whatever the hell. So sorry if that's what you're expecting with Sunday. We'll be doing what you expect us to do, somewhat.
No.
Yeah.
But not
so
really.
so ultimately though, to kind of conclude my feelings on the SAG-AFTRA stuff, like I think that it had to happen at some point because otherwise, it just keeps growing at the top and shrinking at the bottom, unless at some point somebody says something about it and tries to do something about it.
Sure.
And I always bring this back to WWE because that's what I know the most about, and they don't have a union in WWE, and it is completely destroyed a lot of people's lives that they don't have a union, and there is a huge disparity of how much money is made at the top and how much money is made at the bottom over there. So when I see how bad it can be when there is no union, like they don't have their own health insurance, what I mean? We're talking about professional wrestlers that don't have health insurance. Like that's crazy. They're literally hurting their bodies for a living without a union. That's
imagine how expensive that is though for wrestlers.
I know.
Insurance bill on
and that's but
no kidding.
You're purposely injuring yourself,
and that's why they get paid.
Yeah, unions.
That's a United States problem, dude. Seriously.
Healthcare is too expensive. But yeah, unions, they're important. But at the same time, the SAG union and the whatever the other one is what's keeping these people from working right now and what is making these people broke. Because there's lots of independent actors and independent writers that are still working, and they're loving this because they're getting extra work now. And
that A24
the union won't let these little people work.
Yeah, and the A24 studio, which is but that's the thing. So like look at the A24 studio. They are continuing to work because they have followed all the guidelines that SAG-AFTRA has put out. So they're actually able to keep making movies and producing content just because they're following the guidelines. I mean, if you want to follow the guidelines that they're doing right now, which is going to ultimately, I think, benefit the people that are involved in the union, then you can still make movies. If you're going to fight against it, then it's going to be hard. And that is the struggle with any time that you're going to have some sort of like pushback on how the world already works in any situation. There's going to be a slowdown on you're sacrificing. You're saying, I'm willing to fight for this, but I'm going to be sacrificing part of my livelihood during it to hope that later on it gets better.
Yeah. And I'm just saying this because I don't see the union winning this. So I see them, hiring new people because so many people move to LA, give up everything to pursue this dream that haven't joined the union. So that's the reason I'm concerned, because I don't think they're going to come out on top here.
It's possible that they don't.
If the union doesn't win, that's going to be a win for the actors that are trying to force change. Like the union winning is the actors getting what the union not winning is the actors getting what they want. They're supposed to help the actors and the writers, and they're trying to not. You know what I mean? Like if the union wins, then there's going to be a lot of unhappy actors and writers. I guess they're just going to have to do what they're told anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's the people involved in the union versus the union, not the union versus the studios right now, right? Like we want the union to do what they were saying, or what they're supposed to do, quote unquote, supposed to do, for the people that are involved in the organization. I don't know how it's going to go, but I do appreciate that they're trying. I mean, there are people that are against it though, like the guy that plays played Arrow on that TV show. Like he came out yesterday and was like, I am completely against this strike.
Stephen
Stephen Amell, yeah.
Saw that.
Wow. Yes, and you don't get that side of it really.
He said he was completely in support of them trying to change how this worked, but he thought striking was not the right way to go about it. Oh. And I get his perspective too, but oh my God, the amount of flack that he got just for coming out and saying that was pretty crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It says he doesn't support the SAG strike, according to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's insane. So, in a bit of a waking contradiction, on the one hand, he says he back his union amid the ongoing strike, but on the other, he doesn't approve of them actually striking.
So he wants to support. He's supporting the people that are striking, but he doesn't support the actions that they're taking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's actors coming out that, you know, I know a lot of people wanted to start the strike, but they might not. They probably didn't think it would last so many like months.
Shit.
And with no work. I mean, even Sarah Silverman came out, and I rarely ever think like what she says makes sense. But this time, it's like she is seeing this actor still working, and she is not allowed to work. And you know, people rely on the regular paychecks, or even the dry cleaner you're talking about at the beginning. Like it's having cascading effects in more industries than just movies.
Matt says, what are you guys talking about? The union represents the members. That's what it's supposed to do. Exactly. When they get a proposal, all members will vote on it. Maybe.
Yes, that's why I said that. They probably didn't know how long this would last, how long they'd be out of work, because they're like, if we're all united, this will be quick, you know?
Yeah. I also think that there's like probably a lot of people that are involved that like are on the very bottom tier of working in the industry that are probably making just enough to get by, that like want nothing to do with the strike, because they're just like, you know what, I'm making $45,000 per year doing whatever I'm doing, like you said, grips or whatever, like it could be like working anyway that's part of the union, and they're just like, I'd rather this not be happening because I don't want to lose out on any of the money that I actually need to like maintain my lifestyle. So I don't know, but 96% saying that they're for it is, it's a lot. You know, 96% voting for the strike involved. That's a good chunk of people.
Dana Abercrombie tweeted, Stephen Amell doesn't support the SAG strike and has been actively promoting heel stars during the strike. Stephen Amell can also afford health insurance and thinks people don't know what's going on.
All right, so this is maybe I was thinking about shit backwards too. Writers are on strike because they are dissatisfied with the pay and the job security in the streaming era. The Writers Guild of America, which represents over 11,000 writers, voted unanimously to strike after failing to reach a contract. So I guess some of the wording we're using was wrong. They're not striking against the union. The union is on strike.
Yeah, because the union's the one that doesn't want people
production
to.
companies.
Yeah, the union's the one that doesn't want people to promote stuff from the production companies. Yeah, but the union's still the one that has to get this done. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
The people that are involved, the you know, the actors and the workers and stuff like that, they can strike, but the union has to actually like be the voice of them and make sure that this actually goes down. So the workers have to make sure the union does their job, and then the union has to do their job in order to make the CEOs, you know, kind of trickle down a little bit more.
Right.
I would be curious to see like a poll now that we're 2 months into the strike. How many people still want to be part of the strike?
Well,
it would be interesting.
You got to either hold out or give up, and then all your time was wasted. You know.
Yeah, sure.
Shitty situation. But it's been done a lot in history to get to like make pretty advances. When things change, like with streaming services and AI being so easy to use for anybody, you have to have some kind of big change, because having it just continue on the same was not been it. They were losing some comfort or guarantee. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we saw with music, like shit had to change. It had to change, and it did. I'm not going to say for the better, because streaming ain't making bands money like bands used to make money. But
there's always pros and cons.
Yeah.
I still feel like overall there's so many pros to all this, and I gotta thank YouTube for that aspect of it. Even for like actors and stuff, you still have somewhere to go. You can still do things independently. And there's such you can be so clever with it. It's just up to your creativity, how well you can focus in on all that stuff. I've seen so many like comedians just killing it, or people that write awesome, brilliant skits on YouTube that were once actors in Hollywood, but now they're just doing that and they're doing just great, So I do think there's still an outlet for people.
Back in the early 2000s, there was another strike, and I remember a bunch of people came together and made a musical. You guys ever hear a Dr. Horrible sing-along blog? Yeah, so that was during the writer's strike in the early 2000s, and you got Joss Whedon, who wrote and directed it. You got Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, Felicia Day, all to star in it, and they did it all for free. And like, it got really popular. It's got a cult following now. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, people have watched it a lot. And it's like, you can still do stuff like that. That was before YouTube even, right? And now there's even more access to getting your stuff public. So they can do stuff like that. But I mean, I wonder if being part of the union prevents certain, you know, I don't know if that prevents you from being able to do certain things. I don't know. I'm actually asking.
Wow, this is crazy, guys. You have to be a SAG. You have to have a SAG card to audition for major projects. You will need a SAG Ultra card just to be on set.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a whole lot of movies about movie making, and that whole aspect of it is like, you can't act a movie unless you're a SAG member. It's like, well, how do I become a SAG member? Well, you have to. It's like getting a job without experience, but I get experience without a job kind of thing.
Yeah, after a performer. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
First time in more than 60 years that both guilds, the Actors and Writers Guild, have organized against the studios. So it's the actors and writers, their unions, their guilds are striking against the studios for the studios are not compensating.
So those are separate guilds. The writers have their own guilds, and then the actors
Right.
They've come together to like form a superpower.
Right. To like force them to change, and you know, unless they start seeing it affecting their wallet, they're not going to freaking change.
The Film Actors Guild.
Yeah, here's saying for like the whole SAG membership, after a performer works either 1 day in a principal or speaking role, or 3 days in a background role under SAG contract, they become a SAG eligible and they can join the union. After becoming eligible, actors can work for 30 days on other union sets without joining. Interesting.
Shit's crazy, bro. It goes so high, you know, like it goes so high. There's so many levels to this, and it's just like, we're talking about just bajillions of dollars at stake.
It's a lot of levels. Sounds like a pain in the ass. Just do short films on YouTube, guys.
Yeah,
you don't need any
don't
cards.
sell your soul to a corporation.
Dozens of dollars on YouTube.
Dozens.
Dozens and dozens.
Hey, you can make good money on YouTube if you do it right. You can make good money.
You actually got to work though, so
yeah, you got to actually work. Yeah. But I mean, you're putting in so much effort to be a Hollywood actor. Like at that point, it's about equivalent to all the work that you're gonna be doing on YouTube, anyways, right? Most of these actors end up being directors, anyways, and and that's what you're doing on YouTube. You're doing the directing, you're doing the writing, you're doing the acting, you're doing everything, anyways. It's like it's probably like the best training if you think about it. Pretty soon, they're probably gonna have to pull people off of YouTube to act in their movies because they're gonna run out of people. Because everyone's gonna just avoid doing that, you know.
I was just gonna say, wait. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's just unfortunate all around that, like, you know, this kind of comes down to the quality of movies over the past 10 years, and I don't think, you know, okay, yeah, what you said about the CEOs making way too much money, that makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, they're not making the same amount of money as they used to. How will this ever balance out? You know?
I think that's the attempt right now. They're trying to balance it out. That's why they're doing this. So I'm not sure that it's going to work. But
the movies aren't making money right now, so there's nowhere to like meet in the middle.
Yeah,
some movies are losing
money. Disney's lost billions over the past year.
Yeah,
they can't afford to pay actors as much as they used to.
Then the fucking CEO needs to stop making shitty movies that aren't making money, bro. Like that's what it comes down to for me. Like if Disney's not making money, even though they have bajillions of money of dollars to put into making
the rights and property
they're failing. They're failing at and them failing at doing that, making bad decisions, should not have to reflect on the people beneath them just because they're making bad decisions. That's my opinion.
True,
I also feel like anybody that's working a full-time job, I don't care what that full-time job is, you should be able to pay for health insurance and rent and a car. Like you should be able to do that. And if there are people that are involved in the industry that can't do that because of this, then that to me needs to be remedied. I think that needs to be adjusted in some way, even if it's just like take 1% off the top and add that 1% at the bottom. Like if that's all that needs to happen, like I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, it's so complex and unfortunate.
Yeah, they need to quit scheduling movies fucking 3 years in advance, 10 years. So here's our 10-year plan. Dude, it's not going to work anymore. Marvel pulled it off once, and it's never going to happen again. This bullshit of like, well, we're going to make 3 movies, so, as long as the first one does good. And if you make a movie expecting to not tell a whole story, it used to be you'd make a movie that was the whole thing, and people really liked it. You're like, cool, let's make another one.
Yeah.
But when you plan on that, and you hit a bunch of unfinished movies that nobody wants to watch again because they know it's not fucking going anywhere.
And we have proven with Barbenheimer also that like you can make a buttload of money if you just make stuff that people are interested in,
Sure.
and promote it right, hype it right, don't be repetitive. Like these are 2 totally different movies that are both making just millions and millions of dollars just because the hype was proper, the promotion was proper and stuff like that, versus a Marvel who obviously people got tired of it like 5 years ago and they haven't changed their strategy at all.
Yeah, they start spending millions of dollars making CG suits because they don't want to make the actual costume, or
because they don't have the story written when they actually film.
Yeah,
right.
You're starting with a $250 million budget. It's like, Jesus.
Well, we'll see how it goes, man. This is not the first strike in history, but I guess it's the first strike where the writers and the film actor and the actors came together. So we'll see if that's enough power for them.
Yeah, I hope it works out for everybody.
Yeah,
me too.
So, do you think people are gonna go on strike over the Twitter change and stop using Twitter?
I want to so badly. Like I want to so badly, just out of spite.
What do you think about this move, Ryan? What do you think about switching it to a nice X, changing up Twitter?
A fucking brat who has been allowed to do whatever he wants, and it's just stupid and sad. And it's a guy who could make a lot of positive change for the world, just being allowed to do what he wants to. It's just dumb. It's fucking dumb. Elon Musk he's not stupid, but he does a lot of stupid things.
I don't understand his business decisions. I really just don't understand how you would think like what statistics and data was he reading that said changing the name and logo of an internationally well-known brand that everybody and their fucking mother knows about.
That's what happens when you can be in complete control of something and nobody can be like, hey dude, look, this is probably not a good idea.
Didn't he already lose so much money over this, buying this platform, and then he go change the brand name, the logo?
He obviously doesn't give a shit, man.
Spent like billions of dollars.
He didn't do this because he thought it was going to like positively change it.
Well, that was his reason.
He wanted to.
That's his reason for backing out of the deal. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, your reason for backing out is that you're going to lose too much money and that you're trying to get out of it. And then now you're going to switch the branding, which Twitter and tweeting like has a ring to it, is genius.
It's a global phenomenon, dude. I mean,
yeah. What do we do now? What is this called now? Xing? Are we Xing? Or
is it sexting?
Send out an X.
Was there somebody was like a X hitter, and X meant something. I don't know. I can't remember what language it was. Where it's basically like a sh sound, so it's basically called shitter.
That's hilarious.
I don't know.
I saw a screenshot of somebody that had like 7 tabs open on their computer browser, and they all had an X in it, and said, "Okay, which one of these is not porn?"
Yeah.
One of them was Twitter, and the rest were porn. You can't tell.
Think of the people who don't particularly pay attention to all this BS and like are trying to find Twitter on their phone, and they're like, "Why did Twitter disappear?" And then they go search for it in the App Store, and you're just confused. Like, what the heck?
But yeah, there's something with Musk in the letter X. He tried to make PayPal X, and then he named his fucking kid X, then a bunch of other letters. The dude's just
didn't he create? Weird. He was a founder of PayPal though, and then he sold it off.
Like I said, he's not dumb.
Yeah,
but
he's off. He's just fucking off.
Yeah, he's just a weird guy, man. He's a weirdo. Like, and I just he put up the sign on the building too.
Yeah,
you guys see that?
Didn't get clearance for it or something.
Yeah, didn't get clearance for the X, and then they made him take it down.
Yeah, But
How
does he?
like
He
that's
doesn't
such
give
a
a fuck.
yeah, that's such a basic like just talk to your fucking landlord, bro.
He seriously,
According
feels
to
he can do
Google,
whatever he
he's
wants.
worth $240 billion.
yeah. You can't even imagine what that fucking means. $240 billion. It doesn't make sense.
No.
Whatever
And
you're
let's
thinking
let's
now,
remember.
it's more than you can imagine. I don't even care how good your imagination is. It's an insane amount of money that nobody.
And let's
should be in
remember he
control of.
didn't make all that money on his own either.
No, hell no.
His dad is rich. He owns like a diamond mine or some shit like that.
So Musk is the wealthiest person in the world with an estimated net worth of 239 billion as of July 2023, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, and 248 billion according to Forbes real-time billionaire list, primarily from his ownership stakes in Tesla and SpaceX. So this is based off of those. CEO and product architect of Tesla. So not including the diamonds and all that stuff.
So a guy like this, what happens now? So he made the change. Everybody's making fun of it. It looks stupid. Nobody likes it. So how do you think he's gonna react?
I think he's gonna keep it.
I did it anyway. I don't care.
He owns it.
I think he'll double down on it. He'll double down. He owns it.
Fuck it. And then people are gonna leave Twitter. I have a feeling like this is the end of Twitter. Like it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Well, it started to feel like that when they changed the check marks around at first. When I was like okay,
Kinda.
so verified people are no longer verified, and then like everyone was like, wait, so you're telling me in order to be verified I have to pay for it now? Like even though I've already been verified in the past as the person that I am, like that's the point of the verification.
I feel stupid.
It's not a verification anymore. Now it's just a subscription service.
I honestly, at this point, when the X thing came up, I'm regretting having guys pay for that stupid ass check mark because I'm like, now it doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah.
So where are we going instead of no Twitter? What are we doing then?
TikTok. It's where everybody is.
That's an issue too. I mean, they're trying to ban TikTok.
Ban TikTok, huh?
Yeah, because it's like a global fucking threat.
Wait, what you're trying to say?
TikTok's been used to like spy on people. Was it Forbes magazine put out an article that there's people within Forbes are getting spied on by TikTok, just people using the app or it's a fucked up situation, man. Because it's what, Russian or Chinese?
Chinese.
Wait, what were you trying to say?
Yeah, that's always been a thing though.
Oh, I'm just doing some research here, and I think the whole Elon was a spoiled rich kid thing is a myth. That started from biased news sources.
Well,
but he, according to this, he never got a large cash gift from his parents, and he earned his money from starting different businesses.
Unless you ask his father, who has directly come out and said, "Yes, I own a percentage of a diamond mine and have given Elon money."
The number that I read though is based off his companies and not that. That bill is talk about those two businesses are worth.
Yeah, but you could say, like, I mean,
it doesn't matter. The business is still worth $240 billion. No, when you have your
starting
P&L
capital of millions and millions of dollars, it is way more. Way easier to make.
When you do your net worth, on a P&L, you do not include the money you put in. You don't. So they're going off of P&L statements.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not the point.
That's not my point. My point is that when you have money to start out with, it's much easier to make more money than if you don't have any money. If you come out and you're making $50,000 a year struggling to get by, it's going to be super hard to make millions of dollars.
Okay, well that's
if
different.
You start out with millions of dollars, you can make more millions of
dollars. The first subject we were talking about was how he was worth, and then you had said that he got it because it was given to him. That's why we were confused. We didn't realize you were saying all that.
I'm just doing real-time research right here, so I don't have the full scope right now. But sounds like his mother was like trying to leave his father for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't have enough research right now, but I don't like to go off of news headlines for information. I like to research deeper into things.
Right, as you should. But I do like if there's a direct quote, I think, from like a person involved that's like, you could probably usually
this is
take
someone
that
who
into
wants to take
consideration.
credit for something, and according to what I'm reading, he might not have been the best dude. So I don't
know. Yeah, could be. We could be talking about a character being bad, I don't see why he would lie about having a stake in the mine, but I guess everybody has the reasons for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, to be fair, Elon has disputed that. He has come out and disputed what his father said. So it's really a he said thing.
Either way, to me, is still insane to grow the businesses that he has, and you're right, it does take money to get, like, right now, if I was smart enough, I could probably figure it out. I can pull out enough money to get it going. But you're right, if you have somebody, since you're saying it was about that, yeah, if he did give him a certain amount of money, yeah, it'll be easier to get stuff, but you still have to be smart enough to even develop those companies.
I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going
to
listen, not to, this is not a political statement, okay? But it was the same situation with Donald Trump, where he said, I've made all of my money from the ground up, blah, 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 blah. And then you find out that his dad gave him like $150 million to do it.
His company is different, though. That's like, he didn't have an actual product, that was real estate business. So that's a little different. Like, if Elon built his wealth on real estate specifically, that is definitely something. If somebody gave me properties starting out with, I have a heads up. I have a leg up for sure. You know what I mean? Where like Donald Trump didn't actually create a product that people use on a constant basis, or like products and services that people use, i.e. like PayPal and Tesla. You know what I mean? So yeah, Trump, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about self-made altogether, but maybe some aspects of it, but he definitely was given quite a bit.
I agree that he had to make you have to make something that people want to use. And if you do, then that's a victory. So you got to give him credit on that front. It's nobody that didn't have a head start would have been able to do that, I don't think, because it costs money to make a product and promote the product across the world like he did. Yeah. You can't do that.
It takes a lot of work.
9 to 5 in. Sure, unless you can pay people around you to do it for you.
Yeah. We know how hard it is to find anyone to help you do anything in the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, editing.
But if you have money to pay people, like top quality people, to do that stuff that have already proved themselves in the field, you just have to really surround yourself with the right people that can do these things, right?
True. But you have to.
You can't do that if you don't have money, but you can if you do.
I don't know, man. You can still do it without money. It's just you got to use other skills. The way you talk, the way you communicate with people, the way you bring
Barbara
people on.
from Shark Tank.
I don't know who that is.
Waitress job.
Having money certainly helps you get started. It's hard to argue, dude.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think
you're broke as fucking a genius. You're still a real genius. But
I mean, you got to be able. You could get lucky. You could get lucky, and you have to be smart and make the thing that people want, but you got to get lucky in the sense that people are going to find it and people are going to utilize it. It has to be promoted right. We should not discredit how important advertising is, and then how
a good pitch to the right person,
and then how much it costs to advertise.
Yeah, good pitch to the right person can make a huge difference. So, yeah, cursory look at history of Elon. His father bought into a emerald mine. But from what Elon says and his mother says is he left when he was 17, and he ended up $100,000 in debt after college, and it wasn't easy. But he's still, I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot to go over. But
well, yeah, and that's why I brought this up, because it's everyone's life story is a lot more complicated than just he was a spoiled rich kid, and I just don't. I want our podcast to be well rounded.
Co-founded PayPal. Well, I mean, having a brilliance to start something like PayPal, you should deserve to fucking live pretty well.
Yeah, and he could have retired, but he kept starting more businesses. Sure. He's making affordable housing for people right now. He lives in a tiny house. Like, he's not living a lavish lifestyle,
He's just ruining Twitter. I guess this is not such a bad thing.
But Twitter has a different CEO besides him. What's her name?
Oh.
Like, she's the one that was tweeting about these X changes. I've had it pulled up earlier, but anyway, I don't know. I'm with Alan. Like, I think it's stupid that you'd take a name that's so popular and change it.
It's just the worst
branding idea. That's not a good move.
It's so hard. It's so hard to find a catchy brand name and like tweeting, I remember when I first heard it, I was like, that's kind of cheesy, but at the same time, I was like, oh, that's pretty clever because it's so easy to remember. It's so simple. It rings off the tongue. I'm just like, it's so hard we were trying to come up with a name for the podcast. Like this one is like, it's a hard thing to do to come up with something that's original, new.
Any live stream, any video you watch, there's their Twitter account, their fucking Instagram and YouTube. I mean, if it's that well known, leave it the fuck alone. Make something else and call it X. You
like think
genius.
About these names, right? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, I would say like Twitter is the most catchiest out of all of them, right? Then maybe Facebook and then Instagram. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Although every time I try to go to Twitter, it ends up on Twitch.
That's true.
Twitch is another genius name. Sometimes platforms just do well because the name, it just rings. Like Twitch is another great name.
But let's play devil's advocate on this for a second, okay? Because even though I agree with you guys in theory, I will say, so this guy, Elon, he bought Twitter for like, I don't know, it's some $1 billion, right? And Twitter was actively losing money when he purchased it, right? And so his first attempt was to kind of create a bit of a subscription service style when he came in here to try to, mitigate the loss of the money. And then he went through the server issue that happened a few weeks or like last month or whatever, where he was limiting the amount of tweets that you could see because the expense of paying for the servers was so crazy high. So he's trying to find these ways to turn Twitter into a profitable entity rather than the what it was, which is a highly powerful media machine that's not actually bringing in any money and costs money to run. So I understand in theory why maybe he thinks even just changing the promotion of it, just changing the name might be, kind of starting fresh and trying to make it a profitable entity again. I could see why he would think that way. But personally, I think that the most lucrative part of it is the fact that it's recognizable, and the other things around it are the things that should be changed. But who am I? I'm not a millionaire, and he is, so he's a billionaire. He probably knows better than me.
Yeah, good point.
Maybe he might change his name to Elon Musk.
He should just change his name to X.
I am X. That wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, and as Chrono Falcon says, Chrono Falco, you get used to it after a while. Yeah, it's true, man. Like I hate that that's true, but things get name changes, and then we complain about it for 6 months, and then that's what the name is the next year.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. This name is pretty rough though. This name, I mean, because with Facebook, they're being called Meta, right, or something afterwards. That's not too crazy though. Like they're not changing their logo. Like they're being smart about it. You don't see the F hasn't disappeared out of nowhere, right?
Right.
You can tell they're doing a slow transition. They're doing this.
Well, that's because Meta is technically the company that owns Facebook and
But he wants to change it though. He does want to change it altogether, like the logos and everything. But I think they're just
what's funny? I also read that Zuckerberg actually owns the copyright for titling things X. So I read this the other day, and I was trying to like
Zuckerberg does.
Zuckerberg, right? And they were like, "There's gonna be a big lawsuit over this in the future." Because they're like, Zuckerberg he copyrighted this like several years ago. And
Elon versus the Zuck.
Well, they've been wanting to have a cage fight for a while now. But I don't know how, like I read this article and it was giving, I couldn't find more sources on it. So like I don't want to like talk about it like it's definitely true that that's the case. It was like a Variety article or something like that. They seems pretty confident in it, but I didn't see like the IP generated, like, the contract that he signed for it. So I don't want to say that that's definitely true, but that is something else that is worth keeping your eye on in the future, I think.
Just to clarify for PayPal, Elon was the founder, not creator of
co-founder.
Yeah, he was actually founder. He wasn't the creator of the actual technology. The people that actually created it was Peter Thiel and Max Levchin, but they came up with the technology, and then Elon founded it, and that's when they switched the name to PayPal.
Oh, it's like Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
All right.
According to Google, and yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to see how this goes. You know, we'll reconvene 6 months from now to see if Twitter is still kicking. You know, I think personally, I think it will be. I think that people are like people. The 24-hour news cycle is a real thing, and I think that people will bitch and bitch and bitch, and then it'll go away. And that's just my personal feeling on it. I mean, I see it in wrestling all the time when they change the wrestler's name, and everybody complains about it, so that WWE can own the IP of that wrestler now, and then 6 months later, everybody's calling them by that name, and they forgot
just
about
something
them.
to talk about that day.
I just started using Twitter, man. Like, and now I'm just like, I don't even want to use it anymore.
It is agitating not seeing a blue app. I gotta say, like, give me my freaking little bird back, bro.
Right.
Like, I scroll through and I'm looking for blue, and then I see this black X, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is.
I know people aren't used to change on that, but Twitter over X, I mean X over Twitter, like I get what? I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it.
It does feel like some of the decisions he makes are more for personal.
Yeah.
Well,
I do get.
You know what? It did make it into the news cycle. Could just be a PR stunt. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Why? Because people
anything
knew about Twitter.
I don't know.
Anything he does is gonna make it into the news at this point. He can say anything, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
He is PR personified.
So I found the article about Elon Musk. Elon Musk X already trademarked by Mark Zuckerberg's Meta for social networking services.
There you go.
Get ready for a cage fight.
Oh my
This
god!
is so fucked up, and we got like people are gonna root for Zuckerberg over Musk, or not. You know what I mean? What the fuck?
No, you're right though. That's gonna be like you're gonna have people that like Elon Musk, and then people that don't care about either of them rooting for Mark Zuckerberg. Right? Like
Just fight Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, this is crazy right here. Elon Musk may face legal difficulties after rebranding Twitter to X. Trademark experts have warned, with tech rivals Meta and Microsoft both owning intellectual property rights for the letter. So not only
This
is it
motherfucker
Meta,
knew ahead of time.
It's a letter.
It's Microsoft
That's like
too,
copywriting a one single note on a piano or something.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is I didn't realize Microsoft also had rights on it. That's crazy.
So then that brings up a new question, though, right?
And now Bill enters the ring.
Yeah, right. Get Gates in there.
It gets
but
better,
that brings
guys.
up another question. Why is Microsoft and Meta able to own the same trademark then Twitter wouldn't be able to,
There's
right?
probably subtle variances in whatever wording for whatever they own.
Or maybe it's what it's used for, right? Like maybe Microsoft can only use it for video game consoles or something along those lines.
Did you guys know this?
Is stressing me out.
Did you guys know this, though? The tech billionaire renamed the social network on Monday, 9 months after taking over the company, right? The name change forms part of his plan to turn the platform into an everything app, which is like akin to China's WeChat and India's Paytm. So he's trying to do a whole everything app. So for those that don't know, I know China's WeChat pretty much controls everything. It's like a whole social network kind of thing, including your money. Government can see it and everything like that. So that makes me feel a little weird because I don't know.
Elon Musk is a communist?
I did not say that. But that was really funny.
All right. Let's clip that.
Dude, could you imagine though? I hope one day he comes out and he says that he is after like making billions of dollars capitalistically, just for the sake of irony. It would be hilarious.
Checker's got a point. Apple, where's Apple in all this?
They own
the real winners.
They own the letter I. They don't need X.
Apple is making actual good television shows, and that's all I care about.
Oh, really? What's your favorite television show from Apple?
Severance, Hijack, Silo. They're all great.
I've never heard of any of these.
All right. They got to work on their social media networking on X.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on from the Twitter talk. It's 12:30 and I really want to talk about Cardi B before we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We need like a timer for each topic so we don't go insane.
No, it's okay. That was a good talk, but before it's old news, we got to talk about Cardi B.
okay. What happened, champ?
All right.
Oh,
so this brought up a lot of things, and I ended up arguing on on behalf of a totally different issue than I think what most people were arguing about. So there's the way that the stories came out kind of changes the details chronologically of what happened, I guess. But from what we kind of understand now, here's the sequence of events. Cardi B was playing a show live, and she had asked people, it was really hot, and somebody on stage had asked people to start splashing her with their cups to cool it down. And then later on in the show, somebody else, as you can see what's happening right now on the screen, somebody later on in the show, somebody threw their cup that had ice in it, and it hit her, and she just whipped her microphone, whipped it as hard as she could, and nailed them right in the head with it. And then it ricocheted off that person and hit somebody else. Okay. So now we find out that one of those people that was hit with the microphone is now suing her for battery.
Good.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you?
Go for it.
So there's a lot of questions to be
fucking
asked.
Childish thing to do.
A lot of questions to be asked here. So first of all, is it okay? Because there's been a big revolt recently, and a lot of instances of people throwing stuff on stage at artists and hitting them in the middle of shows. Most prominently, I could bring up Bebe Rexha, who is like a pop star, I think, over in the UK. She was hit like right in the eye and had to stop her show. She had to go to the hospital afterwards after somebody threw something on stage and hit her in the head. Now, this has been happening, and more consistently with female artists also recently. This has been happening quite a bit. This is something that should not ever happen. Like, I will stand strong on that. That should never happen.
Didn't she ask for people to do it, though?
Well, we're going to get to that.
I didn't know that context.
I'm bringing up past. Well, no, not Bebe Rexha didn't, but in Cardi B in this situation did.
Okay.
So this has been happening. So my immediate, when I saw this, was good. Fuck that chick that threw something on stage. I hope she got hit in the head with the microphone, because you shouldn't be throwing shit at artists on stage.
No.
My first thought.
Okay.
My first thought.
Okay.
And then I found out that they had asked people to throw stuff on stage. Once I found that out, you lose all credibility. Hold up. In that situation.
Even with your but then you thought that, I still don't agree with your initial thought anyways, because no, you should have the security and police officers deal with it. Like, that's such a childish thing to do. Like, oh, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. With a microphone. I don't know.
Yeah, that weighs a couple pounds.
I just can't agree with that. Even if it was asked to do it and then she did anyways, that just makes it worse. It just makes it way worse.
Yeah. Responding with violence like that is never the answer, especially when let's look at how classily Chris Rock took the slap,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He let it go in the moment because it's not worth hurting someone else over.
Yeah,
but also when you get hit with an ice cube in the eyeball, you're not really thinking clearly. So I don't know.
So I think that, like, in this particular situation, like, I would never throw something at somebody that was in the audience. I wouldn't do that, right? And I think that Cardi was wrong for doing that. But this is my big thing, because it's an ongoing issue and nobody's doing anything about it. I have more leniency for taking charge yourself. If this is going to keep happening and these artists are going to keep getting attacked while they're performing by audience members, and nobody's going to change that, nobody's going to say, okay, you're banned from buildings forever. Nobody's going to say, if you do this, you're going to get arrested.
Okay, but then
at some point, somebody has to do something about it.
Okay, well, how many meetings is what's going on with she has security all around her. So what's going on with the security, like keeping an eye on the crowd, which I know is totally hard to do because you have millions of people out there.
You can't stop someone doing that.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we have these higher raised stages. That's the exact reason for like festivals and stuff like this. Is exactly why there's such a buffer now between fans and the artists. And I know a lot of us hate that, and we want a more intimate stage. Is exactly why they do that, because there's always some jackass that's going to do that, and they normally have security in between that are like screening for that. But to retaliate like that, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just got off stage, like, all right, I'm done performing. People want to do this, and then come up with some plan in the future at future shows, maybe with the fans or whatnot. I don't know where this is at either. Is this a festival?
So she asked for people to throw water at her initially. Before that, And this woman
earlier
did it
on in the
after
show.
the fact.
Earlier on in the show, yeah.
I don't know, man.
So here's the other thing, though. After the girl threw the ice on the stage at Cardi and it hit her, somebody had like a camera on her, and she was just like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And
Oh, really?
when that's happening, I really struggle to like feel bad for that person. Like, you actively tried to do damage and then immediately apologized when you got caught. Like,
Yeah.
that person to me doesn't deserve much leniency in that area. They attacked somebody, they assaulted somebody. So I'm not saying that Cardi should
I just don't want
assault
to
her back.
respond
I'm
with
just
an
saying
attack.
that they should have to pay for that, though. They should
I
have
agree.
To, there should
No,
be
no,
some
I agree.
consequences.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, they did it, they should be arrested. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, you assaulted someone, but don't assault
and because
back.
Cardi's
That's
right,
all
and
I'm
because
saying.
Cardi's dumb. Now Cardi's the one that's going to get sued instead of vice versa, where if she got
Exactly.
hit on stage, she could have sued them.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I mean. Like,
Or just
they should just
turn the fuck
arrested her.
around because it was ice and water. I don't
What?
know, dude.
Well,
Or
it's-
just walk the fuck away instead of like
That's what I was saying.
assaulting somebody herself. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I think you have to consider that this is an ongoing issue that people are having.
No,
Like, Baby
if-
Rexa got hit in the
Then
eye with a
arrest
cell
them.
phone.
But then arrest them, throw them in jail. It's assault, period. That
Yeah.
like you
I mean,
you
if that's
threw
how
water
artists-
on ice and
If
you,
the
they get
artist
arrested.
whose everyone attention is on stops the show and is like, "Get this person out of here," they're
Yeah.
gonna do it. You know, security will listen to the artist.
But they have to.
because
There
the
has to be repercussions, like Champ said. I
think
agree
it's-
with
yeah.
you, Champ.
Oh,
they
yeah.
should
To be
they should go
in
to fucking
place.
jail. That's what I'm saying.
I think those legalities, they need to be in place
Exactly.
before every concert. If
Yes.
you throw something on stage, you will be arrested for assault and you will go to jail.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah, we completely agree. That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what should be done. And why are they not doing that? That's stupid. It should. In most cases, it is. I've seen people get arrested at concerts for this type of stuff, for a water bottle. So like,
Yes.
I've had a friend
Yes.
that I've known. He did something stupid in his past. He got thrown in jail for like a week or something like that because he assaulted somebody on stage. He threw a water bottle at him because for
So-
whatever reason. This was about like 8 years ago.
That's crazy, though. Like a full water bottle or an empty water bottle?
was a full water
Those are
bottle.
very different things.
He was drunk. He
Those
was
are
drunk.
heavy, man. Those get heavy.
He was drunk as hell. He was being stupid and he fucking lofted it, hit the guitarist in the head. He got
Oh
sent
my
to jail.
gosh!
He got sent to jail
Those
though.
people have such good aim.
Yeah, right. They played baseball.
But he went to jail. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't understand what. If I go see a fucking band, dude, the last thing I want to do is try and freaking hurt him. I mean, even if
Right.
I'm drunk, I'm gonna cheer and yell. I'm not gonna throw my water bottle to go. What's the what the fuck is the end game? I'm gonna throw my water bottle at him, get his attention. Here,
They look
Yeah.
what do you
thirsty.
think's gonna happen, dude? What the fuck do you think is?
But I
gonna
do
happen?
wonder. Okay, so
Yeah,
so
throw
Michael
bread
M right here-
instead.
Michael M in the comments says, "I think back on Baby Metal. How on earth could you attack young women?" And let's say that this Cardi B concert
Good
was a Baby Metal concert from 8 years ago, right? So we've got some like young preteens on stage. Now somebody throws something at them and hits them. Somebody throws a cell phone
Oh
at
my
like
god!
a 12-year-old girl on stage and hits them in the eye. That 12-year-old girl picks that cell phone up and throws it back at the person that throws it. Nobody's going to question that. Nobody's going to be like that girl did the wrong thing. I think that there's a bit of a
Just throw your bra and
there's a bit of
panties.
a bias here because like
Says
Cardi,
Teresa.
you know, like I don't know, people don't really like Cardi that much anyway. But if that was somebody that felt more innocent or genuine, people would be angrier at the person in the crowd.
Well,
than
yeah.
the
Once you
person on
turn
stage.
18, you have a higher responsibility than when you're a minor.
Yeah.
Across
Yeah.
the board. you know?
Teresa says
Yeah,
just
yeah, that's
throw
true.
your bra or panties. That no one can get hurt from that, right? I guess you could.
unless they have some sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah, I
I
guess
don't
if
know.
they have
There's
STD.
some bras have some stuff that could poke your eye out.
Sorry,
That's
Teresa.
true.
Still too
They're made out of
dangerous.
wire, right?
Still too dangerous. No bras and panties. Soiled bras and panties. There we go.
So anyway, listen.
I'd say everyone who did an act of violence was in the wrong.
I agree
Yes,
with you, Wave.
Sure. Yeah. I think we could all
Send them
agree
both
that,
to jail. Cardi and the fan, both of you in jail. That's what I say. Both of you
Share a
belong
cell
in
and
a
hug
cell.
it out.
Yeah, they need to share a cell, no shoelaces.
Charge them for the respective apparent crime. She threw
Yep.
some water at her, and which didn't harm her at all.
I
And
think
then she
the
threw a
issue. I think
microphone
the
and
issue
injured
is.
two
I think.
people.
I think the
Microphones
issue
are
is
like
the
10
ice.
pounds too.
I think the issue is the ice though, because like ice can do damage.
Yeah.
It's a solid.
Sure.
Yeah, well, the
And
microphone
you could
did
see
damage.
when they throw it out, it's just ice flying at her. I don't
Yeah.
even know if there was any liquid actually in the cup.
I think there was very little thought put
It
into
was
either
ice.
side.
Yeah, the point is, don't throw ice and don't throw a fucking microphone at someone.
Okay, so
Period.
here's the funniest part, right? Here's the funniest part. Then another clip came out of the DJ, Cardi's DJ, stopping in one of the songs early, and she turns around and whips her microphone at the DJ.
No way.
Ooh.
Are you fucking
Oh.
serious? Where is
Here's
that?
a full another layer of context.
We'll be right back.
Whole other layer of context.
She's just
Oh,
out to
right.
get out
She-
for blood.
I mean, at that point, give her all the lawsuits in the world, throw her ass in jail. You know, I don't know what else to say to that.
The DJ who works for her?
Yeah. Apparently he stopped. They were trying to get like a sing along started or something like that, and the crowd wasn't feeling it. They weren't singing along. so he
Wow, this
stopped
was
it
like the
before it
first.
started expecting.
This was like the first clip that comes up. Throwing a mic. Here, let's see if we can
At
get
the
this.
at the DJ.
At the DJ, yeah. That's
All right,
this
let's
is
see it.
fucking wild, man. Wait, should probably the music. I love
Yeah,
how the
that's
music's
gonna-
still playing afterwards. That's fucking hilarious. Okay,
I
where's
think this
DJ
is the same
one?
one. I think this is the microphone throw at the
Yeah.
off the stage though.
So
I don't
Oh.
think that's the one with the DJ. I think that's the one with.
hold
yeah,
on.
'cause she's
Here's the
wearing same
DJ
outfit as-
one. Here's the DJ one. I think. Or I guess not.
I don't think so.
I'll keep
She was
looking
wearing
for it.
something else.
I'll keep looking for it. Yeah.
It's always
Yeah,
hard
she
to
was-
find stuff in reaction videos.
Yeah.
She was wearing a different outfit for that one, so I think it was a different show. But yeah, this is not apparently this is not the first time, or it was the first time, and it's continuing on after that. I don't know the chronological order of which time she threw the microphone first, but yeah, it's becoming something part of her repertoire, I guess.
Leave the artist alone.
There's no footage.
And-
There's no footage of the
Don't trust
DJ.
some of people.
There's
I
no.
saw it on Twitter yesterday. I didn't.
They're just talking
I don't
about
know.
it, but it doesn't. Oh, they're. Well, this one's showing it, but we'll see. I'll keep looking. You guys keep talking.
Have
Okay.
some respect.
Have some respect. Yeah, so I think that she's just a little aggressive of a person. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't seem to have any chill, and that's going to get her in trouble in the long run. And honestly, the situation where she's being sued for battery, I saw a lot of people commenting saying like, "Well, her lawyers are a million times better than whatever the person in the crowd is going to have." But I don't think that
Rich
she's
people
going to
win again.
But why would she fight that, right? Like she's going to settle, wouldn't she? Wouldn't it be so much easier to settle that lawsuit and just give them a couple bucks and get them to go away?
We'll see till she throws
That's
the
what I
pen
would
at the
think.
fucking judge.
Yeah. Yeah. What if she throws on that?
I'm Cardi B.
Yeah, it's true. So listen, the other part about this is the part that drove me crazy, even more so than this stuff, was that, and you can see it in that clip, she throws the microphone, and the song keeps playing, and not just the background of the song, the main vocals of the song keep playing, and she doesn't have a goddamn microphone in her hand. And
Maybe this woman realized that and she threw the ice like, you fucking faker.
yeah,
Guys,
right?
if you didn't
She not
already know
singing?
this was happening, I don't know why you would be surprised. I mean,
Yeah,
this has been going
here
on
we
for
are
fucking ever.
Comparing Cardi B fans to baby metal fans. I mean, two
I mean,
completely different
Jesus.
swaths of humanity right there.
So take the idea of Ashley Simpson on SNL in 2004
Yeah.
getting caught lip syncing and it ruining her career forever.
Yeah, tanked it.
Not anymore.
Tanked it completely. No, but then so I see this and none of the comments are complaining about the lip syncing, and I go, no, this is the biggest problem here. It's ruining the music industry. And all these people, no, it's 2023. This is what they're supposed to do. Everybody lip syncs now, and I'm going, no, not everybody lip syncs.
So you're saying
is a fucking lie.
bring Milli
just-
Vanilli back.
yeah, you're accepting
Right.
you're accepting garbage right now. Like stop accepting garbage, please. She's not, and I sit here and I made this argument like because I watch K-pop and they use loud backing tracks a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and that when it's too loud it drives me crazy, and I tell everybody while I'm watching it that it drives me crazy. I want to hear their goddamn voices. But at least they have like full choreo for the 4-minute song that they're doing the whole time, and it's not lip sync. It's a backtrack where they're actually singing over it, versus like somebody that's standing in the middle of the stage, barely moving, and your album is playing behind, just for people that have paid, thousands of dollars to come see you. So, right? Like, and you're just gonna play your album?
I don't really know who
she's trying to hold a fucking note.
Exactly. I don't really know who Cardi B is. So when I'm searching this up, this is like the first article that came up, and it's just hilarious. So I have to read it. Cardi B responds to old video where she says she drugged and robbed men and said, "I'm proud of it."
That sounds like 2023.
Yeah, that went around for a while.
That's who we're dealing with here. Throw in jail. That's
all right. Should we talk about batteries?
Yes, batteries. Apparently, they get more solid. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
Well, I don't even know if anybody's gonna have any interest in this.
No, I really am interested. Like, what the hell could they come up with a breakthrough on a solid state battery?
Okay, so what's the problem with electric vehicles now? Batteries, you get like a limited range, right?
Oh, okay.
So Toyota comes out after denouncing EVs. They were going to go hybrid route. After saying we're not going to go full EV, they come out and they're like, oh, by the way, we have a battery that'll go 700 plus miles on a charge that takes 10 minutes to fucking charge it.
Thank goodness for Japan, right?
Hell yeah, man.
How insane is that? We're going from charging for hours and hours to get 300-mile range to minutes to go longer than a fucking tank of gas.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Okay, this is a way better article than I thought it was going to be. That's fucking phenomenal, man.
They're trying to get to 900. So yeah, dude, it's pretty insane, and it's an industry changing.
That's
event.
That's like 3 tanks of gas.
So yeah, it's a huge claim, but I mean, Toyota knows their shit, dude. I think it's funny that they're like, we're not going to go full EV, we're going to go hybrid because EV is not going to happen. Then they're like, oh, well, look what we did. We did it better than anything you guys have yet.
They're just like, should we just noodle around with this for a couple of days?
Oh, check this shit out.
Yeah. So, and right here, they're saying that they're aiming to release this new battery technology in 2028.
28. All right.
It'll probably be sooner, maybe.
Is this going to save us money?
I don't know, man.
Probably not.
Probably
if we use someone else's power.
I mean, technology, except for the mining it takes to make the fucking batteries, it's going to burn more.
I just bought a battery. I just bought a battery 2 weeks ago. It's $200, which is insane because I remember like a few years ago it was only like $100. It's just for my Mazda CX-30.
Oh yeah,
just a regular battery.
Just a regular fucking battery. It was $200. So is this one going to be like 1,000? Like
more than that?
Probably. 10 grand for this new battery.
Yeah, dude, for this miracle battery. I don't know, it's just pretty crazy.
Do you guys have Menards around you?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Say that again?
No. Menards has good deals on batteries. I think it's a Midwest thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Lowe's.
All right.
Sorry, champ.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
I just said no. I don't know what Menard is.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. I thought you were going to talk, and then I had to start talking about Menards.
So solid state batteries reduce production costs.
Okay.
That's part of it. It's easier to make, easier to maintain. Toyota aims to bring down the cost of solid state batteries to compete with or even surpass the cost of lithium ion batteries, which means, if the lithium ion mining goes down, that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, but some people are going to be real mad about it because I'm sure there's some people making millions off of mining lithium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's somebody making millions off of something.
Same reason we're still making combustion engines hundreds of years after they were invented, and they're fucking
don't fuck with their money.
Inefficient.
They're nostalgic.
Yeah,
they make a loud noise.
Here's my question about this, because I don't really know anything about this type of stuff. Is what makes the prospect of this more likely than something like the existence of like solar power that's put on our roofs, or like Teslas, or like like electric cars that are like used by some people, mostly people that have a lot of money already. Is this the type of thing that's going to be like that, or is this the type of thing that's going to be accessible to people?
I think
come time that it's available.
With it coming from Toyota, there's a better chance that when they say we're going to make if they say we're going to make a $35,000 vehicle with this, it'll happen, as opposed to GM who says we're going to make a truck that costs 40,000, then it comes out and it costs 80.
Oh, yep.
True.
Yep.
Okay.
Toyota being part of it, I think, is a little more believable and a little more expect more from them.
Yeah,
because they're more for the little people.
They continue to deliver on everything they say they're going to do. And
again, thank goodness for Japan.
Well, yeah, and you know, and it's gonna something this big is gonna force the industry to change or comply, because you won't be able to compete with this shit. You're gonna buy a Tesla that takes 4 hours to charge to go a few hundred miles. I don't even know the right numbers. You know what I mean?
Or Elon will just buy a Toyota.
You know, we got these fucking Hummers that weigh 10,000 fucking pounds that go 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
Whoa.
But fucking why? It's just stupid.
Why not, man? I want to.
So you can merge in front of people like 5 feet.
I want to be able to
cut them off.
Just dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
We're so fucking dumb. We take this technology. Instead of making a car we can use every day, we make stupid ultra heavy vehicles that have no fucking purpose, and they go faster than hell.
They do, Ryan. I can run
they
people
cost
over.
$100,000.
I can go to war in that thing. I can run into a school.
Or you could take that same battery and put it in a fucking car, and it'll go for probably 1,000 miles.
But I want to cut off people.
It only went 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. You know what I mean?
But I want to cut off people.
Dude.
No, I agree, Ryan. I'm sorry.
You know, it's crazy though. Like all these conversations have like one thing in common, which is the potential change in an entire large scale industry. Like everything that we've talked about, right? Like the potential change in like social media and how it's used by like with Twitter. You know, the way that this could change like the, I guess, battery or car industry or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we're talking about how the music industry is now allowing lip syncing to be, perfectly fine, and people accept it. I mean, all of these conversations have that one common theme. Like there is a huge change from the last like 10 years ago to now in how we accept things and how we view invention.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Very interesting.
Here's a stupid thing. You guys hear the EV1? Not the stupid thing, a stupid thing. General Motors EV1 back in 1996.
What? What's
General
that?
Motors had an all-electric vehicle back in 96. And it ranges like 70 to 90 miles. And it was sold. They trialed it in California. People liked them. And then pretty much oil companies are like, fuck that, bury that shit. And they bought them all back and destroyed them. Yep. It was a working electric vehicle.
Whoa. Wow.
There's documentaries about it. And yeah, they destroyed them. There was
wild.
Nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them.
Monopoly.
But there's no monopolies,
General
guys.
Motors rolled out the EV1 in 96, first mass-produced electric vehicle hit the market, initially equipped with lead-acid batteries, only about 70 to 90-mile range. It wasn't the roaring success it had envisioned. By 2003, the company collected all 40 EV1s and simply crushed them. But
that's crazy, man.
There's a documentary out there where Michael Bay, the director, still has one. And he still drives the fucking thing.
So apparently it's been working for the last 20 years.
Yeah, dude. They're not failed cars. It was just bad marketing, and people were afraid of this new electric shit. And yeah, it was a mess.
Dude, this is the type of thing that makes me wonder if they could cure cancer.
Oh, they definitely can.
Like they've been sitting on the cure for cancer for 30 years, but it's just so much more economical for them to just treat it instead of cure it. Because if you cure it, then you don't make money off it.
Don't eat processed food. I mean, bam, you'll
or
help
sugar.
yourself. That's processed. Yeah, the sugars. Any processed food. It doesn't matter. That shit is all gonna mess with your system internally, because your body is always fighting off cancer cells, period. It's when your body stops fighting it off is where it becomes a problem. And so when you overwhelm your system with a bunch of processed foods, it accelerates the process, and that's why people get cancer so much quicker and faster. From the neurological standpoint.
I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's true. We all do crazy shit to our bodies. I mean, we're so bad most of us are so bad at taking care of our bodies. You know, you've never seen me on stream without one of these fucking Juul pods in my hand, and we don't even know what the hell this does to us yet. And I sit here and I smoke it like a chimney. But I do wonder how much further the medical profession has come that we don't know about, because you watch stuff like Tech Wise and you know that they have tech that's, you know, that they release tech things in order so that there is an upgrade to it, but not the fullest upgrade that they could possibly make at that moment, because they need to be able to sell the next level up and then the level after that and then the level of after that. If they just jump to the end of it, they would miss out on all the money that they would make in between that. And I gotta assume that the medical world works the same way.
Yeah. And like, can't paint it with a broad brush either, because it's not a cure, just changing your diet, but it does mitigate it a lot. It exacerbates that stuff.
Yeah.
To be eating a processed sugar heavy diet.
If you guys research online, guys, go check it out about cancer stuff and how people have been able to reverse this. There's a lot of documented studies, but a lot of it's banned in this country from ever releasing those documents or even having them. This is all we consider hearsay also. And you have to do a lot of research on it. And there's a lot of neurology studies on this and stuff. And there's an interesting documentary I would recommend you guys check out called Fat Fiction. It's on YouTube, absolutely free. And it's very fascinating what they did to some of the scientists and when they used to do human studies, and then they banned human studies and like they put the rats or whatnot. Very fascinating. Check it out. Make your own conclusions from it. And it's really cool because they have all the cited resources and everything in there for you guys. But I'd look into it. It kind of depressed me though when I looked deeper into it. Like I was like, it just makes you go, fuck. And then you start realizing things. I got into this whole thing where I'm just like reading backs of packages and stuff and just being mind blown.
Yeah,
like,
you got to
deleting. Yeah,
dude, I love that you brought this up though, because I'd love to at some point talk about like the history of recommended diets from the government and and how much of the research is funded by Kellogg's and Coca-Cola and all that stuff to get a certain biased outcome in the study.
Remember the food pyramid that we were taught when we were in school?
I put the link in the description, guys, if you want to check it out.
That's apparently was produced by Big Pharma. Yep. They made that in order to have certain things feel like they're more necessary in your life.
Gotta sell pills.
The link that I put in there, guys, is an indie funded movie. So it's completely independent. And it's very they try to make it as unbiased as possible. So just something to check out. It's very informational. You'll learn a lot about the world and how
something for you to watch and draw your own conclusions.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. And happy birthday, Dre Guy. Congratulations on 72.
Who?
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
One of our chatters.
Oh, congrats.
Turned 72 today.
It took me a second to find it. But yeah, very fascinating. I put that link in there for you guys to, like you guys said, just draw your own conclusion.
So you guys want to talk about how Blink-182 was right?
Yeah.
Wait, I think Ryan didn't you have something else?
As long as I don't have to hear the fucking music.
I was going to sing it all in Tom DeLonge's voice.
We're talking about UFOs?
Like a snotty child.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's like one of the greatest singers.
Background.
He's one of the greatest singers ever.
Stop.
Okay, do the She Left Me Roses by the Stairs.
She left me roses by the stairs.
That's so much better than...
You guys really think he's that bad? I don't think he's that bad.
I want to hear is somebody impersonating the worst voice in the world.
Champ does it so well, though.
All right, so let's get a rundown here. Tom DeLonge fronted Blink-182 for years, and he left the band to kind of do solo stuff, but he also wanted to pursue what he thought was a just cause and us being lied to by the government, proof of aliens, and all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He made that his main mission in life.
And he got a lot of documentation to be published that the government was denying was there. Am I right on that?
I think you are.
Sorry, say that one more time.
He got a lot of documentation and proof of UFOs to be brought to light.
Yeah. I mean, according to him and
UFOs
what they consider
doesn't mean aliens. It's on a
unidentified flying object.
So what
does not necessarily mean it comes from space.
What does he prove then?
True.
Right.
Well, he has. I don't think he's proven anything.
So,
The reality of it. So here's what the guy said. Like the guy that gave the guy at the like in the court when he had to give like a explanation or whatever. His quote was that they had found UFOs. There are UFOs, which does not mean alien, but something about there also being some biological micro life force or something that they also have found. Now that last part is a little bit more interesting, I think, than the UFO part to me.
He founded a whole company for this. Founded a company devoted to the scientific research of unexplained aerial phenomena about UFOs. Not know that.
Right. So now I've there are freaking aliens out there, bro. Nobody's gonna tell me otherwise, but I need to believe that they're here. I need, unadulterated evidence. I need to know exactly what makes people believe that they're actually actively here, right? UFOs being here proves nothing. They've been saying this for years and years, and it could be anything. It could be an unidentified flying object just means that it flies, it's an object, and you don't know what to call it. It doesn't mean that it's coming from space. But the biological microforms or whatever he said is a more interesting concept. Now, that could mean anything. It could be like an amoeba that's like alive or whatever, alive, quote unquote. It could be some sort of like plant type, whatever. They didn't go into details about what it was, but I don't know. I would never I'd be hard pressed if somebody told me that like there's no chance that anybody that there's no chance that aliens exist. I would be like, that's crazy. Why would you assume that we're the only life forces in the entire galaxy? Like, there's so many different types of things that, like, how the hell do we know? Right. So I'm willing to like open up to it.
Real quick though, didn't they just they had a Congress hearing about this, right? And I just saw something right now on YouTube. But this article is
that's
interesting.
What I was talking. That's where the quote was from.
Yeah, because he celebrated being right about aliens as the U.S. Congress name drop him. That's kind of wild. And then
what do you think, Ryan?
I was just trying to look up to what was being said because I like Champ saying there's definitely a lot of shit we don't know what the hell it is that is documented. There's a testimony from pilots, like highly decorated military pilots who have seen shit they can't understand, and it's always they don't know. They can't explain it. So that doesn't mean anything definitive. The only thing definitive is they don't know what the hell it was. So I don't know, man. I haven't. He's saying it's proof of aliens, but or did he say that?
In 2019, the U.S. Navy confirmed 3 videos of UFOs that DeLong's company to the Stars Academy of Arts and Science had made public. Last Wednesday, July 26th, the House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security hosted hearings on UFOs, also known as unidentified aerial phenomena. But I didn't realize this was been going on since 2019 when they confirmed that, the U.S. Navy.
So why is this being declassified now? Are they distracting us from what X is really about?
They've been declassifying stuff for decades, man. I mean, it's if you hunt for it, it's there. Now it's easier to get to. But yeah, they've admitted there's a lot of UFOs. But they don't know where they're from. That's the whole point.
What Area 51's all about, right? Like, isn't that what they've always said? Like, that's where they keep them.
What they say.
Well, that's the thing is that because what I heard was like, oh, there's proof of bodies and all this shit. It's like, is there? Because I think that would be like front page news, not just Tom DeLonge says he was right. Show me the fucking.
No. He was clearly the man. Dude. He was clearly the person in charge of the entire government. Let's be real.
If he actually works for the government. Kidding. Kidding. I'm just kidding.
Technically,
let me Google proof of aliens and see what comes up.
you want to know? You don't want to know proof of aliens?
A weird porn site emerges.
Our existence.
Here's the proof of aliens. Octopuses. They're freaking aliens.
I hear you. No, seriously, I hear you, champ. I hear you. Octopus are fucking weird.
Yeah, dude. What about all those other weirdos we looked at last week down in the deep depths?
That's true.
Yeah, those fish,
right?
Those fish. Yeah, but
why?
You know what? What's
octopus and cuttlefish are a world apart from all those things.
Yeah, apparently they don't
Why do you
share
say
any
that?
DNA with anything else on Earth. Which, like everything else, shares some sort of DNA with different species. but octopus are the only ones that like don't have anything in common with anything else.
Really? What else is weird about them, though? Other than the DNA thing.
How smart they get in a small amount of time, because they don't live very long. What is it, like a month?
A month?
Also, can't they squeeze their
creature?
Can't they squeeze their entire body through like a small crack, like even to smush their brain and get out?
Whatever their beak can fit through. But they're not a long-lived creature, but they're highly intelligent, like from the get-go.
How do we know that they're highly intelligent? Like, I always wonder about that.
Watch a video.
Let me read this. Let me read this to you right now.
Okay.
I got something pulled up right now. It says they are the smartest of the invertebrates. In addition to how they potentially evolved, the modern octopus traits set it apart from any other animal. Octopuses have one centralized brain, and the rest is distributed through each arm. In terms of brain to body ratio, the octopus has the largest ratio of any invertebrate. This intelligence goes far beyond simply moving through mazes or opening jars. Octopuses are some of the only invertebrates that can use tools. They can wield external weapons, such as the way that the blanket octopus carries tentacles from the Portuguese man of war, and they hunt collaboratively with other species, sometimes having to give their fish partners a good punch to keep them in line as leaders.
Wow.
It's fucking crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy.
But if dolphins had hands, would they be on the same level? So they're like taking down ships together and stuff?
Yeah, because dolphins are super smart.
Oh, no. Orcas, I mean.
Orca is a dolphin, so that is
they're all mammals like us.
Yeah.
Right?
They're mammals.
Orca is a form of...
Oh, and octopus is an invertebrate, so that means they have no bones?
Right. And they also don't have any like relation to anything else. As opposed to fish, you can trace back to whatever, and mammals, we can trace us back to, various mammals and whatnot.
So they have no relation to squid at all either?
I think
I gotta read this part. Hold on, I gotta read this part. This is crazy. Okay, so this says, in addition to their intelligence, personalities, and complex biology, some octopuses seem to exhibit otherworldly powers. Between 2008 and 2010, Paul the octopus was regularly asked to pick the winners of FIFA games. Out of 14 predictions, Paul was correct 12 times, an 85% accuracy rate.
Get out of town.
I missed it.
Octopus predicting the winner of FIFA games?
Yeah, and to an 85% accuracy rate.
Some guy comes up to make a bet with an octopus on his shoulder.
Oh my god, that's fucking
he thinks he's gonna win.
Oh my god. It's fucking hilarious. All right, so there's aliens already here, guys.
Right.
You've heard it here first on the Guys podcast.
Yeah, I'm saying
squid, cuttlefish, and octopus all belong to the same animal class called cephalopoda. Mollusks with bilateral body symmetry, a big head, and tentacles. All of them are able to spread ink, along with belonging to the same class. They also belong to the same subclasses, Colidae and Nutulidae, which include Nautilus and Alonautilus. So there you go.
So it's just the DNA? Like, I'm confused.
They're aliens.
So it's like they have something that's different. Apparently, it says that octopus has 33,000 protein coding genes, which is different than everything else. And octopus DNA has changed very little to the speed of change of any other animal. The DNA is what sets the instructions for life. The RNA is what receives those messages and that makes them happen. Octopus can bypass the need for genetic mutations and consciously give their RNA new instructions to alter their physiology immediately.
I got something for you all.
Fucking nuts.
Facts about octopuses that prove they are aliens. There's a whole fucking article about it.
That's what I'm reading from. That's the article I'm reading from right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Gotcha. I was like, that's just so genius that there's a whole article. Here, chat. Here, let me leave this for you guys, so in case you want to check it out later. There's your proof.
We just
that they're
can't
aliens.
not talk about sea life.
Yeah, because it is the aliens.
So
That's the alien
man.
world, bro. It's down there. It's underneath us, not above.
Okay, if they are aliens, why are they uninterested with Earth?
Why are they?
Yeah, why are they uninterested with Earth?
What?
Why did they just stay in the water? Why have they not figured out how to come up here?
Where's the most surface of the Earth? It's in the fucking water.
I know, but I'm just saying, why don't they want to check out land? You know, maybe they might find us delicious.
Why
That's
would
a good
they?
question.
Allergic to oxygen.
Humans are on land.
But why haven't
Well,
they?
if
well,
they
I would
can
want to
change
stay
their,
away from humans.
if
Hold
they
on,
can
hold on.
alter their RNA though, why wouldn't they want to be able to go everywhere, right?
Exactly, that's
They
what I'm
could
saying.
change that potentially.
Okay, hold on. Let's say you live in a place where you can go as high as you want, as low as you want, as fast as you want. You can go, there's no boundaries, and you can fly above whatever, or you can go on land where you're forced to walk a fucking round. Like you in water,
Gravity.
which is most of the surface area, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. If you come on land, why would you? If I was from water, I wouldn't want to be on land. It's stupid.
Yeah, but the
Beautiful
visit, you wouldn't
vistas
wanna
and
visit?
landscapes.
You wouldn't want to visit a little bit, you know? Like, hey, let me check that out. It's different. I've never been there, you know?
I do
like
find it
Dollywood's
interesting,
on
though,
land.
I don't
if
have
we're
any
talking- that's true.
reason to go to Europe, but I want to go
If
there
we're
to check
talking
it
about-
out.
If we're talking about like the evolution of animals and stuff like that, like everything started underwater, right? And then
Yeah.
they grew to become something that could live on land. So you do wonder if something has the option to alter their RNA or DNA or whatever,
Mhm.
and other things took thousands and thousands of years to be able to do that because they wanted to. It is weird that the octopus would have never tried
Exactly.
to
That's
do
my
that.
point. It is
Here's
strange.
have you not seen the footage of an octopus coming out of the water, grabbing a fucking crab and dragging it back into the water just to eat it?
No,
What?
can we see
I have
that?
They
not.
can and do come on land.
Okay, I want to see
Look
that
it up.
video.
They come
Jamie,
on
pull that
land.
up.
There's octopus.
I'm
There's
looking
octopus
for
that
it.
have been
I'm
caught.
fucking
and
looking for it right
they've
now.
been caught and they
Fuck.
That's wild.
Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
there's octopus that have been caught and they're like on a ship and they just find a porthole and squeeze out through a little hole just to get back into the water. Yeah, there's octopus in museums that leave their tanks and go to other tanks just to eat fish and then go back to their fucking tank.
Hey, Ryan. Sorry about earlier, but your video was lagging. That's why it went over. That's what.
Yeah, it was
going on earlier.
lagging on my end too.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened to me earlier.
Send you a link of octopus attacks crab on land. That's
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
yeah. I want to see that.
I mean-
okay, in the Discord.
It's like less than a minute.
Think of that too, like a crab
Yeah.
with all this armor, and then this squishy little thing comes up and just.
I love how this is not on YouTube though. This is on Bing.
Bro, but what would you do if you were sitting on the beach and you saw that happening? Like my life would be ruined.
Keep your eyes on this
I would
spot.
fucking get up and run away.
Oh shit!
What in the world?
What the fuck?
A camera operator just freaks out.
Yeah, I would freak out too. You see an octopus just shoot out of the water,
What?
the attacking crab.
Dude, at speed of
Did it-
light.
Did
That
you cut away
thing's
from
part
that? It drags
cat.
it back into the water. It
Oh,
drags
he's
it
on-
back into the water.
He's on dry land.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
They choose to be in the water. my friend.
Fair enough, Ryan. I didn't know they visited land. Okay, that answers my question.
Sucks out all the meat and then just leaves the shell.
Oh
Against all common sense of a thing made of no bones. They go on
Squishy
land.
little worm.
Crab.
We were just saying somebody that could change their RNA, like impressive. I mean, that's how we eat crab too, right? We suck them out of the shell.
I wonder if yeah, that's true. I guess. We're even more brutal about it because we take like metal things and like bash them.
Yeah.
See an octopus down there with using like a
Like, rip
crab
'em
claw
apart.
cracker.
So ridiculous.
I wonder if they change their RNA when they come out of land so that they can survive as long as they want outside of land and then change it back when they get back under the water.
Probably. They're aliens. I'm convinced. Thank you guys.
Shit.
I have no
Yeah,
questions.
it needed to be said.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
No questions. Tom DeLonge was right the whole time.
He just
did-
back to octopus.
It all comes back to Blink 182. That's what we know.
Yep.
Blink 182.
Yep. Tom DeLonge,
Representatives
one of the
of the
best
world.
vocalists ever.
I like his voice personally. I'm
I
just
do
gonna
too.
say that. I like to make fun of it, but I think it's fun.
The California sound.
The California sound. Oh man. All right.
I don't know how anybody can like it, honestly.
Because he's the best vocalist ever, you know?
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Top
You don't
20.
like
Really.
to hear. You're not a fan of whining, because I mean,
What do you
you know,
think?
that's
Not
what
really.
it sounds like.
You must not like. You must not like a lot of pop punk. Yeah, a lot of pop punk has a lot of whining in it. I would say.
You ever notice in pop punk
that say anything positive about pop punk? Ever?
No, but you've been wrong about that many times in the past. Yeah. Have you noticed though that a lot of pop punk singers do that like fake like London accent where they're like yo, or like, you know what I mean? Like they try to like make it so that some of the words they sound like they're from the UK.
Ryan's like, yeah,
because they're all trying to sound like Green Day.
I think they're all trying to sound like the freaking Ramones, honestly. And then after that,
where were the Ramones from?
I don't know. But wait, who was the one? Who was underground? Something underground?
The Ramones are from the UK.
There was a big punk scene in the UK back in like the 80s and early 90s. I think a lot of them try to sound like that.
Cool.
All right. Wave, you had some topics.
Who wants some happy news?
Always.
Hey, woo. Okay. So this day in history, 58 years ago, Frank Herbert's epic science fiction novel Dune was published. Set in a distant future amidst feudal interstellar society in which various noble houses control planetary fiefdoms. And it's just notable because it's had an impact on a lot of other notable sci-fi stuff. 2001 A Space Odyssey cited Dune. I know nothing comparable to it except The Lord of the Rings. That was Arthur Clarke who made that. Also, several planetary features. I didn't know this. Several planetary features in real life are named after Dune, including plains on Saturn's moon of Titan and a crater on our moon. You guys know that?
I did not.
No idea.
And then, of course, creators of other franchises from Warhammer 40,000 to Star Wars have cited Dune as seminal inspiration. So I thought that was pretty cool. And
I see Star Wars all the way.
Yeah. So 58 years ago.
I got that book downstairs. I got to read it.
Oh, you do? Nice. Yeah. Also, MTV broadcasted its first video in 1981 today. Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
Wow.
Huh. That's really interesting. All right. We also have a heartwarming story here of a man heading into wildfire to rescue dozens of pets. He said, I didn't want them to be forgotten. So as a town in Canada received evacuation orders, one man from the town of Yellowknife drove toward the fires on a mission to rescue any pets left behind. Square in the fire's path was the town of Betchoko in the country's province in the Northwest Territories. And when it received evacuation orders, Jason Card drove to the nearby SPCA, loaded up his truck with dog crates, and headed off into the first zone with his teenage child and 80-year-old stepfather.
Dang.
Yeah, they drove 63 miles from Yellowknife up to Betchoko and found people in the midst of the evacuation. As soon as they got to town, people heard they were rescuing dogs, and people were coming up to them asking to get the dogs and if we had room for their dogs. So they filled every kennel they had, and despite being after dark, they unloaded the crates of mostly dogs, turned around, and went back. And again, that was a 63-mile trip. So some animal heroism here.
Man, it's like that animated movie where the dog saves everybody. I don't remember what was it called? Homeward Bound?
Balto? Wait.
Balto.
Yeah. So Jason Card, kind of a legend now, saving dogs from the fires. And then here's another interesting thing, which I've never heard of this, but apparently there's double supermoons coming. and the most popular meteor shower of the year in August. So a supermoon apparently is when the moon reaches peak illumination at a time that coincides with its closest approach to the Earth in its orbit. It'll be 220,000 miles from the surface, and this is called its perigee as opposed to apogee. So, yeah, have you guys heard of a supermoon?
No, I haven't.
It's just
Me
like
neither.
it's closer, appears larger. I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw there was one maybe 2 months ago, I think, that I was trying to look out for, but it's freaking very polluted in New Jersey. Hard to
Oh.
see stuff.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's tonight is when there will be a supermoon with 99% illumination.
Rob says double
So-
supermoon equals rear of Cardi B.
Watch out for that microphone.
So yeah, watch out for that. I'm trying to find where it's going to be the most visible. I'm guessing it mentions North America. So
Yeah, Northern Hemisphere. I see in this article right here, which I guess
okay, sweet,
nice.
interesting. Well, I hope someone gets to see it.
I'll be keeping my eye out.
I don't even know what that would look
Let's see if I
like.
can find it this time.
See if you can find it. Yeah. Like,
Look
what
at
would
the
that look
moon
like?
and see how super it is.
Tonight.
Yeah. And then
All right.
aliens are probably gonna come down, take away Tom DeLonge.
It's their spaceship. They're just
Yeah, it's their spaceship just covering the moon. They're gonna steal Tom DeLonge probably.
could be part of the
That's
real
no
secret
moon.
invasion right now.
Yeah, right. They're scrolls.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I just want to give a before we sign off here. I want to throw out a RIP shout out to Paul Rubens because I was a big fan of Pee-wee's Playhouse when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
And then I was a big fan of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie where he has one of the funniest death scenes in the history of movies. And if you've never seen that before, go watch
Yeah.
Paul Rubens die in Buffy the Vampire Slayer the movie. It is freaking hilarious. And yeah, he died yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before. I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that mishap where he may have masturbated in a movie theater at some point. But that was the only bad thing I ever heard about him.
It was a porn theater, so
It was a porn theater.
what are you going there for? I mean, at least he wasn't doing it in like a Disney film or some shit.
Oh,
That would
geez,
be
yeah.
then. That would have been then. Nobody would ever forgive him if that was the
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
so he was 70 when he passed away. Last night we said farewell to Paul Rubens, an iconic American actor, comedian, writer, producer, whose beloved character Pee-wee Herman's delighted generations of children and adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in importance of kindness, according to a statement posted to his Facebook.
Nice. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is the reason I'm afraid of clowns.
I don't blame you.
Oh,
Can I
man.
give a quick story that you just brought up? Because I'm also afraid of clowns, and now
Yes.
I wanted to say why. So when I was like 5 years old, I used to sleep over my. So when I was really young, I had this lamp that was on my counter, right? Every night, it was a clown lamp, and it literally was a clown with like a shade on top of it. And I would turn it around every night before I went to bed because the eyes freaked me out at night.
Oh my
Freaking
God.
don't want to see eyes at night. I just don't want to see eyes in the dark, right? So I did it every single night, right? And then one night I woke up in the middle of the night and it was looking at me and I screamed. My 5-year-old little brain could not comprehend just what had happened, right? So I screamed and my mom came running in. And I said, "Mom, did you turn the clown lamp on? Did you spin it around?" She said, "No, what are you talking about?" And then she looked at it and she saw that it was facing me and she was like, "Yeah, I did." And I was like,
Oh,
"I don't believe you."
oh,
Like-
oh no.
I was like, "I don't believe you." And
But
then
you
we
don't
gave
know.
so I made her take it and give it away. I said,
Oh, good.
Don, I said, "Get it out of the house. I don't want it here anymore." And she gave it to my aunt, who then put it in her room, the guest room, where I would sleep at their house, and I would make them move it out.
Oh my
whenever I slept
gosh.
at their house. But that thing, I still to this day am like, why did she lie first? Or did she lie? Like, I
Or
still
did
think
she?
about it. Like, why didn't she just say that she turned it around if she did?
Dude,
So
that's creepy. I would have taken that lampshade and just thrown it in a fire.
So it had been disclosed that he was diagnosed with cancer. The announcement of his death included a personal statement from the actor himself explaining why he had kept his medical condition under wraps. So he put up a apology letter, I guess, about it. So
Norm Macdonald situation.
Yeah, please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing for the last 6 years, he wrote. I have always felt a huge amount of love and respect for my friends, fans, and supporters. I've loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you. I was about to say, I think that's, what do you guys feel about that? Like people not mentioning the illness and then they pass away afterwards.
I appreciate it.
Their business.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it more than people that are like that feel like I hate it when TMZ divulges something that they shouldn't, and the family is like, "Please give us our time."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's like the worst feeling to me, knowing that they have to not only deal with the grief that they're going through, but have to deal with the public dealing with it also. And making up their own things, and like, you know how it is today where everybody's like, well, he died from cancer. Did he really? You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah,
they don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? So I totally get it. Look at Chadwick Boseman, you know, Black
I was just
Panther,
about to bring that up.
Like nobody even knew that he was sick. And
but
then,
he
like, one day
told
it was
people
just gone.
technically. You ever watch that interview where he's telling people?
Yeah.
He's like, I won't be here. Yeah, there's an interview clip. I'll find it right now. I'll play for you guys. But he literally says, they're like, what do you think about the second Black Panther? He's like, I don't know. I won't be here. He says it over and over again in the interview.
Well, that's not the same as telling people.
I know he doesn't say it, but he literally was like straight up, I'm not gonna be, because he wasn't gonna lie. Yeah, he knew way before Black Panther, because his reasoning, I think, was because they probably wouldn't have casted him. You know what I mean? For that, because they planned on multiple series for that movie. But
sad.
That's like a speculation with that, of course. But yeah, there's a clip of him like just repeating. He's just kind of like smiling, like he already accepted it, kind of thing. It's kind of chilling knowing after the fact, you know.
Yeah, I like when we find out. Like, I don't like when we find out this is way past, but I like that when we find out that they were able to keep it a secret, because I always go back to the Kobe Bryant thing, where it's like TMZ reported it before the family even knew, and you're like, Jesus Christ, could you imagine like finding out that your husband died from TMZ article?
No,
that's crazy. I found the article, the clip. Here it is.
It sounds like a pretty intense film. What can you tell me?
It is intense. You know,
this is for the end game.
It's a cop chase scene, essentially. We're looking for the bad guys. They've killed 8 cops. Those are my brothers. So I'm searching for the people that did it and searching for why it happened. But it ends up, you know, being some layers that are uncovered, and it's a very fast-paced, high-action movie.
It's right here.
So
is the scene he's talking about even in the movie?
Pretty crazy for you. And I don't know if you know this, but you also broke the internet this morning with another film, Avengers Endgame.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Did I scare you?
I haven't even looked at my phone. What are you talking about?
But people are like ready to see this movie. They're buying the tickets. It's nuts. I mean, how does that feel to know that?
It's great, but I'm dead. I can't answer any questions about that.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to give.
Oh, that's right. It was under wraps.
What about Black Panther 2? Anything?
I'm dead.
He like says it over and over again.
For you to be dead, Chadwick.
I am. I'm dead.
Well, yeah, this was part of the Marvel NDA.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's saying he's dead because his character in Infinity War got dusted. So his character is technically dead in the movie. So he has to say that, I think.
Yeah.
But it's just creepy that he said it.
It is creepy that he said it.
That was my point, because he didn't know beforehand. That was what it was. Only family knew. Like he knew that he had was colon cancer, I believe. He knew that he had it. He like had been diagnosed prior to it or whatnot. So they were like, yeah, but you're right. A lot of people were saying that, oh, well, he's like snapped out of existence and stuff. But this was April 2nd, 2019.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Kind of
crazy. And if you look at the end of the Endgame, there's that scene in the end of the Endgame when they're at Tony's funeral. And if you look closely, you could tell he doesn't look great in that final scene.
No.
Very obviously different than how he looked in Infinity War and Civil War.
Even in this clip. Even in that clip.
Yeah, he doesn't look great there either. Yeah. So that's really sad, but I there's this weird thing underneath where I'm like kind of happy that they were able to keep that under wraps so that
Yeah.
the family could deal with it on their own without the public scrutinizing anything. And all those people being like, because there was going to be people that were going to be like, oh, what did you take the COVID vaccine, stuff like that. And it's like, I would rather the family just be able to just grieve on their own and deal with this on their own.
Yeah, for sure. Wave was trying to do good news, and I brought we brought this.
Sorry, my bad.
Sorry,
but I wanted to give Paul Rubens a shout out.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I lost the article originally too, but Brian, did you have anything else you were?
No.
I think we're good. I think we covered a lot of shit today.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have we been going?
2.5 hours.
Dang.
So one of the longest podcasts right here. All right. Well, we'll sign it
Let's
off.
end it. Let's leave.
Thanks everybody for watching along and hopefully enjoying our discussions.
Yeah.
Very much. Glad you guys came along.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later. See you.
Bye.